All right, we in progress. Greetings, 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 or should I say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Greetings, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is having a great, beautiful Sabbath day. I'd like to thank my brother Cass from the UK. He's been chilling with us for a few moments before we got in as I was getting myself prepared. Um, so I'd like to say greetings. Hopefully everybody's having a great Sabbath day. This is where we at today. This is Assembly of the Righteous, the Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous, and we're here every Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon, or maybe a little after. But we start or get started at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. That's 12 p.m. noon Eastern time, and also today is July 26th. July 26, 2025. I'd like to say happy belated Earth Day, which is yesterday was my oldest children's mother's Earth Day. My oldest girl, I had two girls here in Detroit, and her Earth Day was yesterday, which was the 25th. I'd like to say happy Earth Day, Dina. Happy Earth Day, Dina. Yesterday was her Earth Day. And other than that, we'd like to thank life, the Father, for giving us life, us having life, and that we may have life in abundance, serving the Creator as we grow into the Creator and grow back to His Word, grow back to His Word, not go back to His Word, but grow back to the Creator's Word. So other than that, we're right here, right now, baby. I need you ready. I'm about to get started. So we're here right now. So we're here right now. We're about to get started. Thank you. Okay, great. I had some complications going on, so I got to do so. I had to rearrange some things. So, right here, boy, this thing don't stay lit for nothing, do it. Here we go. So we get ready to get started with our theme song, which is called "Fast and Pray," and we're going to do it a little something like this. All right, this is our theme song for today, which is on the Sabbath, Assembly of the Righteous, and this is called "Fast and Pray." Fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say let's fast and pray. And fast and pray. Break it down now. Fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say, if you fast and if you pray, you'll hear from the Lord, the Bible saying, just be real in your heart. You'll be off to a good start. Just be sure that you're sincere in the Lord. We're here. First, repent of all your deeds, good or bad. Take heed, fast, and pray. Reason why I say good or bad, but some things you think is good may be bad. Some things you think is bad may be good. Come on and fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say and fast and pray and fast and pray. We're going to find that out today and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say and why I say and why I say and why I say. Fast 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4, sometimes 5, maybe more. Some fast water, some fast bread. The best fast ball is dry instead. You must condition yourself, it's true. And this is one way you can do. First day, eat every 6 hours. Second day, eat every 12. Third day, don't eat at all. Fourth day, try to stall. Fifth day, try to make it through. Sixth day, drink a little juice. Seventh day, eat a little too. And within the week, you'll get the answer you want to see. It may not come the way you expect, but your answer you will get. And if you fail and couldn't make it in, fast and pray all over again. And we're going to see a little bit of that today in 1 Samuel 14. 14. 1 Samuel 14. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say let's fast and pray, and fast and pray, fast and pray. So we need to do today. Let's fast and pray, and fast and pray, fast and pray. This is the reason why I say it. What I say. This is another way you can do. Just as the first says, I told you, pray 6 a.m., 9 and 12, 3 p.m. and 6 well. 9 p.m. the prayer takes flight. 12 a.m. lay down all night. 6 a.m. wake up, my friend, and start the process all over again. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say let's fast and pray, and fast and pray, fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray, fast and pray, fast and pray. This is the reason why I say it, why I say it, why I say it, why I say. When you fast and when you pray, think about the Creator each day. You must conduct your business, it's true. You must find the Lord, you must do in order to be released from your sin, repent, and don't do them again. If something evil comes about, keep on fasting without doubt. Drink alkaline water of 9.5. Then your healing will arise. Imagine leaving your children, your life. Matter of fact, even your wife, your time, this thing we must do to prove that we're true. The Almighty will see you through. And that's straight from me to you. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray. Fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is the reason why I say let's fast and pray. And fast and pray. Fast and pray. This is what we need to do today. Let's fast and pray, fast and pray, fast and pray. This is the reason why I say and why I say and why I say and why I say, why I say and why I say and why I say, why I say and come on, why I say. Break it down, break it down. I'd like to thank Almighty Yah for another beautiful and glorious Shabbat, which is Sabbath day. Pause there, baby. There you go. Mm-hmm. Now, if I can do it, just make sure we don't make that mistake again. There we go. Now, today is a beautiful Sabbath day, which is the Shabbat. And like I was sharing with you, today is July 26th, 2025. And again, happy Earth Day to Miss Dina. My first children's mother's Earth Day was yesterday. Happy Earth Day. And right now, today we're going to go into, but before we go into it, we're going to read the commandments as we always should do on the Shabbat, which is the Sabbath. We should go through the commandments because this is what the Creator spoke to the children of Israel in the time when they was in the wilderness under the mount. And at the same time is when he started to appoint prophets. So I share both these points just so people can understand. Number one, we always should share the commandments on the Sabbath day so everybody can get an understanding in the reading and whatever else we share according from the scriptures. So I always add the point of the prophet right after what was said so we can give an understanding of what's really said in the scriptures. So here we go. And today we may be in just 1 Samuel 14 is kind of long, so we just may be in that today all together, part 1 and part 2, because next week, I already know it's going to be Yah rejects Saul, or that's going to be next week. I already know that. I kind of glanced across it. I didn't read it, but I glanced across it. Sorry, no, that's going to be next week. That's starting at chapter 15. So we're doing all of 14 today, just let you know. But right now, we're getting ready to go into the commandments, which is Exodus chapter 20. And then we're going to go from Exodus 20 to Deuteronomy 18. Just so you can be aware and prepared right at this point. When we're done with the commandments, we're going right into Deuteronomy 18 for clarity on his word. Clarity for the world can get clarity on the law and the word of Yah. Here we go. So right here, we're going into the word of Yah, which is the commandments. And here we go. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. These are the 10 commandments. Verse 1 states, and Yah, even though it says God, and Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Verse 3 and first commandment. Thou shalt have no other deities, which is gods, before me. I feel like I want to go on with it, but I'm going to keep it moving. Second commandment. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. The people understood what it said. Any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy father, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance, the sins, the iniquity of the fathers, which is the parents, upon the children, which you teach your children, unto the third Greek and fourth Roman generation of them that hate me. The Greeks and the Romans hate the Creator because they changed his word and everything. And this is where we're going to go into Mikael's knowledge of truth on this Monday coming. But the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy and showing grace for them who has forgotten because they've been taught amiss. We ain't under the law no more, we under grace. No, you're being shown mercy. And showing mercy unto 1,000 of them that love me and keep my commandments. That's your grace. Say again, baby. Mm-hmm. As long as we stand in the word, we're going to be connected. As long as wherever we are, we got to stay connected. If you try to throw me off, I got to come back to where I'm at so I don't get thrown off in the spiritual realm. Third commandment, thou shalt not take the name of Yah thy father in vain. Thou shalt not, let me rephrase that again and re-say it. Thou shalt not take the law, which is the Father's name, in vain. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that continue to taketh his law, which is his name, in vain. That was the third commandment. Say it loud with me. This is Exodus 20 we're at right now. But we're going into 1 Samuel 4 when we get done. Fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, hallowed, set aside. Verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy father. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, you and your wife, which are one, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Anyone in your household is not supposed to be working on that day. I'm not going to say if they can help it. I'm just going to say they're not supposed to be working on that day, according to the law. 11. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, set it aside for us to rest. Because y'all know we will work ourselves to the bone. No problem. Right? He did it for us. Fifth commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, which is actually honor thy elders. The elders is actually your father and your mother. That thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy father giveth thee. So your days could be long in this earth. 13, thou shalt not murder. And though it says thou shalt not kill, it's actually thou shalt not murder. Because you can kill something, anything, a killing can happen with a cause. But when you murder something, you're taking a life without a cause. This is the difference in sacrifices, which a lot of people don't understand. 14, thou shalt not commit adultery. This is the seventh commandment. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not lay down with another man's woman. If a man has a woman, or women, however many women that belongs to that man, they're not to lay down with another man's woman. And the woman that belongs to a man, don't, however many women you are that belongs to that man, are not supposed to lay down with another man. That's adultery. 15, thou shalt not steal, which we all know what stealing is in this day and time, taking anything from someone else. Thou shalt not bear false witness, which is the ninth commandment. That was the eighth. This is the ninth. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, which I always share. Lawyers, what's the other name? Is a lawyer, prosecutor, lawyer, and attorneys. They do this all the time. They bear false witness because they wasn't there to see the matter. So lawyers, prosecutors, and attorneys, they are prime examples of this point right here. Verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet, which is want, thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. You know something? Let me share something with you here. Even though it said thou shalt not covet thy neighbors, where in here anytime did the Creator speak of enemy? It just hit me. I just got to say this real quick. I was going over the scriptures and information this past Monday on Mikael's knowledge of truth. And I was showing when in chapter 5 it says, when love thy enemy, if he a persecutor, all this, it doesn't never, you never hear when it said the Father say, love thy enemy. He's always say, don't do this to people who that don't abhor an Edomite. Don't do this and that. But you never see when the Creator says this and that about an enemy. Unless he said, if your enemy approach you, he said how to retaliate or what have you. On an enemy in the law. But I say unto you, I just hit that. It just hit me right then when I read that. But now let's go right into the prophets, where right here after the 10th commandment, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. 18, this is when we go into understand about the prophets. Now, the Creator just spoke these last 10 commandments. The people's fear. This is verse 18. Exodus 20 and 18 states, and all the people saw the thundering. Okay, good. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. See, like I always share with you, when you hear thunder and lightning outside, you even in the household, you cut all your lights off. Say, our ancestors say, God speaking. Don't say nothing. Get in the corner. They sit down quiet and they sit in the dark when it's thunder and lightning outside. When you imagine that being in an open field, all the people ran and stood afar off. Thunder and lightning over your head like that. Yeah, ain't nowhere to hide, So people were scared. That's what people was fearing. But what happened in verse 19? And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and this is your key. I want y'all to hold 19 or mark it. Matter of fact, I need to do this as well. Give me that green. That's what I was looking for. This is what the people spoke. It wasn't sin, but this is when they made their point. So that's why I'm doing this in green. Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. This is a point, even though I'm just putting it in here now, marking it. This right here is when the people spoke. Speak with us, Moses, that speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. We even shared that last week in the scriptures when in chapter 12. In chapter 12 of 1 Samuel. We had that last week. And it's saying the exact same thing. It's said right here. Verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yah is come to prove you. You got the yellow one, right? I thought I just had it right here. Nope, I know where it's at. It's sitting right here. There we go. Because I got to go get Deuteronomy in a few seconds. Verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yah is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your face, that ye sin not. I should have did that in orange, but. And Moses said, that was the people. Moses said, fear not, for Yah is come to prove you. All y'all come out, we did this, we did that. He's going to prove you by your word that you don't sin. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near into the thick darkness. Where the Creator was. This is when he went. See, the movie tells you that Moses went up to the mountain first and then came down with the commandments. The Creator spoke the commandments first, and then he went into the mountains to receive the law. The Father spoke the law to all the people at this time. See, the movie says something different, but it still gives you a concept of what was supposed to happen. This is why you're supposed to go in and read for yourself. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, starting at verse 15. And this is called a promised prophet. Go ahead and get this together. And Yah thy father will raise up, verse 15. And Yah thy father will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, like unto me. And unto him you shall hearken, you shall listen. Hearken means to hear. Hear, H-E-A-R is in hearken. Hear means to do, not listen. Did you hear me? According to all that thou desire of Yah thy father in Horeb, verse 16, according to all that thou desire in Horeb of Yah thy father in Horeb, in the day of the assembly. Okay. This is when they spoke. And I'm going to make sure that I say what they said, to show you what they said. In green. This is when the people spoke. They said, let me not hear again the voice of Yah thy father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. They said the exact same thing, and this is what he was repeating to them, what they said. But listen to who was speaking here. Deuteronomy 18, we're in verse 17 now. And right here, Yah spoke. And Yah said unto me, and Yah said unto me, right here, they have well spoken which they have spoken. This is how you know the Creator was speaking. They have well spoken that they spoken. I, not Moses, But the Creator said this. I will raise, now we understand, you have to understand that when the Creator spoke this, he spoke this meaning in its time. He didn't mean just a prophet one time, because you know that's why the Old Testament, as people call it, the law and the prophets, the Torah and the Tanakh. This is the law where Yah spoke through Moses, and then we have the Torah where the law where Yah spoke through Moses. Then you have the Tanakh where Yah spoke through the people and the stories and history. That's what the Tanakh, which is the after the first 5 books, you have the Tanakh, which is the rest of the book, which the rest of what they call Old Testament. It's called the prophets, which when Yah spoke, he spoke through the prophets. And how did he speak through the prophets? When the prophet said, "Thus saith Yah." And how is this? Now I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just explaining it as we go. 17 and 18. Verse 17, Deuteronomy 18, verse 17. And Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. The Creator was speaking. See this? And then verse 19 goes to say, and it shall come to pass, this is prophecy, whosoever will not hearken unto my words, there's plenty of them that ain't going to live, they're doing it today. It come to pass that it's happening right now. They're not hearkening to the Creator word, they're hearkening to the words of Jesus, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Prophet Muhammad. That's what they're doing today. They don't even realize because this is what they're being taught. But what does the word actually say? Oh, we interpret this and we interpret that. No. What does the word say? And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak, I mainly got this point, in my name. That's your key that a lot of people don't catch. In my name. Whoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, this is your key right here. And this is why I showed Monday. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other deities. Now, the Creator is saying this, so this is a curse. Which I have not commanded him to speak, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. That's the curse. And this is people don't even realize it. Even that prophet should die. I want to make sure I made that was clear. Verse 19 and 20 again. And it shall come to pass that whosoever, it shall come to pass, make sure I get that point, because it shall come to pass is prophecy. It shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him. Quick example, just to share with you, like I shared this Monday. Y'all really need to go and check, what did I call it? I said, the difference of a prophet. The difference of a prophet. Please go back and check that out. You will be shocked at the information, the way I shared it according to the scriptures, and from the word and the spirit of Yah. Because like I said, I'm only a vessel. I share information to give you what's needed according to the word in the word. And it came out strong. I had to look at it about 3 or 4 times. I mean, the full version, I looked at it for about two or three, maybe 4 times. No, it was 2 or 3 times. Which they have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other deities, gods, even that prophet shall die. Verse 21. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know? It's the people. And if thou say in thine heart, you can use these if you need them, baby. Just let me, which ones you want. And if thou shalt say, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which Yah have not spoken? If Yah say that. This is what the people asking. How shall we know? When the prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, when the prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, if the thing follow not, let me get that one more time. Make it always put in the name. When the prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, always in the name of Yah. This is what the situation is in the New Testament. Verse, if you notice, I'm going to give you a quick example before I move on to Samuel. First Samuel chapter 14. If you notice chapter 4 and chapter 5 of Matthew, and I'm just going to give you this to understand something. And I shared this in A Difference of a Prophet. I just want to share this with you. If you notice, in chapter 4, when the devil came to tempt the prophet, I'm saying the prophet, I ain't saying Emmanuel. I'm definitely not saying Emmanuel because I proved that as well in there. I proved who Emmanuel was at that time too. And that was a cut and paste job by the Council of Nicaea. But I'm not saying it's Jesus or Yeshua. Why? Because I'm just saying it was the prophet that spoke. Because in the 4th chapter of Matthew, you'll see he spoke straight from the scripture. That it has been said, or it is written that thou should not do this or this and that or what have you. It is written. And I show you in the word where it's written at. But then you go to chapter 5, he said, you have heard of old time, plainly disrespecting. He said, you don't hear it was written. He said, you have heard of old time, and everything that was spoken of came from the law, from the Creator's mouth. That was blatant disrespect. You have heard of old time that if you lay down or if you eye for eye, tooth for tooth, you have heard of old time. But I say unto you, that's not the name of Yah. All the prophets said, thus saith Yah. Thus saith Yah. You see what stuff was changed from the Creator's law. That's how you know. Then when these people used to ask me, well, how do you know? How you going to go in the New Testament? I said, if it don't go according to the law, it's false. It was put there. So I'm only letting y'all know this to understand the understanding of not only just the prophet, the understanding of the Creator's word compared to what was put there by the precepts of men. Isaiah 29, verse 10 through 13. That's all I'm trying to do. So if you get a better understanding of that, you have a better understanding of the Creator's word compared to the word of man, who has deceived the whole world. Just the fact the word Jesus is there show you deceit. That's the deceit right there. Why would the word Jesus be in there? Now, let's get started with our story. This week, we're in 1 Samuel chapter 14. 1 Samuel chapter 14. Jonathan smites the Philistines. This is my heading. This is where I'm at. Jonathan smites the Philistines. So over. All right, let's get busy. Sorry about that, YouTube. Now, Jonathan smites the Philistines. Now it came to pass, there you go, that's prophecy. Upon a day that Jonathan, the son of Saul, said unto the young man that bare his armor. See, so he had an armor bearer. He had an armor bearer. Come and let us go over to the Philistines. Garrison that is on the other side, but he told not his father. You know what? Guess what? This was before chapter 13. Check this out, y'all. This is how you know scripture. We just went across this. This was before. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna show you how. This is how you follow scripture. Hold on. I'm gonna show you something. See, this hit me right there. This is how you read to know what's what. Chapter 13, right here, 13. Saul reigned 1 year. Check this out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Chapter. This is the reason why we go through scripture to understand what scripture is saying. Chapter 13. Israel is in distress. Saul reigns 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel. See, this is how, when you study, this is how you know information. Yeah. Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel. Wherefore 2,000 were with Saul in Mishmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah. You see that? 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah. Let me write this down. Chapter 14. And this is what happened. I'm going here to come back. See, sometimes you have to go back to go forward. And 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah and of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. Now, and Jonathan, verse 3, right here. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines. You see that? We just read that over here in chapter 14, verse 1. Now it came to pass upon a day that Jonathan, the son of Saul, said unto the young man, his armor bearer, that bear his armor, come and let us go over to the man. Put that in green just like the others. So come and let us go over to the Philistines garrison that is on the other side, but he told not his father. What did we just read over here in 13, in 3? I named this right today. Jonathan and Saul. Now, again, over in verse 3. And Jonathan smote the garrisons of the Philistines that was in Gibeah, and the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, let the Hebrews hear. This is Jonathan right here in green. Now we can go back over here. The proof is how you read and what you're reading. Come and let us go over to the Philistines' garrison that is on the other side, but he told not his father. And Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah, under a pomegranate tree. This is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm back in 1 Samuel 14, verse 2. Verse 2, for those who was following along. And Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah, under a pomegranate tree, which is in Migron. And the people that were with him were about 600 men. Remember, we just got to reading that too. He said over here at the end of Well, he said, so it came to pass that day in the battle that there were neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people were with Saul and Jonathan. But with Saul and with Jonathan, his son, were there found. And garrison of the Philistines, this is the end of, hold on, 600 men. I remember him reading that. He ended up reading that and saying that it was 600 men that he, just read that. No, I think it's up a little further up. Hold on, let me get that for y'all real quick. I'm gonna make sure I like to make sure I get certain points because we just read that last week. So Samuel came down and went out to meet him, and Samuel went, said, it came to pass in those appointed days the Philistines tarried themselves. Therefore, okay, he said he forced himself. After that, and Samuel rose and went down, and also and Saul, Jonathan, his son, the people that were present with him, abode in Gibeah, and the Philistines camped in Mishmash, and the spoilers came out to camp to Ophrah, another company, and turned back. I just read that, and I can't see it right now, but it's gonna come back on me.
We're talking about the 600 men.
Yeah, he counted 600 men that was with him. Okay, well, I ain't gonna hold off on it, but I remember reading that, and I'm gonna come back to that. But that was right after, that was 12 or 13. But it was right after that, because that was after Jonathan, and everybody was afraid. But I can't find it, so I ain't gonna harp on it. Hold on. Oh, 30,000 chair. And the Philistine, okay, and which one the seashore and 30. And the pitch and mishmash eastward from Bethhaven 6. The Hebrew went over Jordan and land of Gad, Gilead. Read verse 13 for me, baby. See if you can find that while I'm going on. If you don't mind. Chapter 13. It's in there. Oh, here you go, right here. Verse 15. Thank you, Father. Verse 15. About 600 men. See, this is why I try to get people to understand. Sometimes you read something and then you have to go back into where you were to find out the truth behind the matter. Because there's a lot of things that be said at one point. You'll keep reading and you'll forget what was actually said, and you'll think, oh, well, that was just for that chapter. But you got to understand the story. And sometimes they can go over the story and go into no different than a television show. When you're looking at TV, sometimes they go back into a story to tell you about something, even though you're further in the story. So you got to understand the book the same way. So this was verse 15. Thank you, Father. It says, verse 15, 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 15. I'm just going to show you at a certain point, because if you look at this, Jonathan, when he went to go fight the Philistines, this had already happened in chapter 13. But now it's giving you the story of what happened over here. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, great. It says, verse 15, and Samuel rose and got him up from Gilgal and Gibeah of Benjamin, and Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. Okay, now we can go on. I just want to make sure I got that. 600 men. Just to keep points on when we're reading. With him about 600 men, right over here at the end of 2. The end of chapter 2. Okay, verse 2 again. And Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah under a pomegranate tree, which is in Migron. And the people that were with him were about 600 men. Verse 3. And Ahiah, I guess that's what he was, yeah. And Ahiah, the son of Ahitub, Ichabod, Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eli. You see that? This is Eli and Phinehas. This is his son. Remember, I think he was one born to the woman that died. Phineas? It's Phineas? Okay. Phineas. Okay, Phineas. That's good. Thank you for correcting me on the name. Yeah, they are. Some of the names are something else, y'all. And the son of Phineas, the son of Eli, Yah's priest in Shiloh, wearing an ephod. Get this real quick. Son of Eli, the Lord's priest in Shiloh. So when he ended up being the priest after Phineas, the son of Eli, had passed as well, because remember he ended up growing up. Wearing an ephod, and the people knew not that Jonathan was gone. They didn't know Jonathan was gone. Verse 4. And between the passage by which Jonathan sought to go over unto let me rephrase that. And between the passages by which Jonathan sought to go over unto the Philistines' garrison, there was a sharp rock on the one side and a sharp rock on the other side. And the name of one was Bozias. And thank you, baby. Bozias. And the name of the other, Sineth. What you think? Sineh? Sineh. Yeah, it's not a T in there. I see it. I say it the way I'm thinking it. I ain't saying the way I see it. I'm saying the way I'm thinking it. Sineh. Now, my wife, she's the speller. I'm more of the mathematician, but she's the speller. And the English one. I can say English man, the English one. She know that English pretty good. Verse 5. The forefront of the one was situated northward over against Mishmash, and the other southward over against Gibeah. Got to mark some spots instead of coloring them. Passage where Jonathan sought to go over to the, and in between the passages were by which Jonathan sought to go over the Philistines' garrison. There was a sharp rock on the one side, and a sharp rock on the other side. And the name of one was Boziz, and the name of the other, Sineh. The forefront of the one was situated northward over against Mishmash, and the other southward over against Gibeah. Okay. Circle 5. And Jonathan said to the young man that bare his armor, which is his armor bearer, come and let us go over to the garrisons of these uncircumcised. You see that, y'all? Of these uncircumcised. This right here is what the Creator said we're supposed to do. So he's letting them know that they ain't circumcised. So that's what he's speaking. Garrison of these uncircumcised, It may be that Yah will work for us, for there is no restraint to Yah to save by many or by few. For there is no restraint to Yah to save by many, so there's no restraint. What's going to be saved? To Yah. To save by many or by few. There's no restraint. Okay. To save by many or by few. Verse 7. And his armor bearer said to him, unto him, do all that is in thy heart. Turn thee, behold, I am with thee according to thy heart. The armor bearer is with him. I remember someone told me that one time. A woman told me that. It was a young man that was staying with me, and I was staying like I had my own place. I always took people in and stuff like that. It was a young man staying with me. I had my own bed. And the brother would stay on the floor. He would lay on the floor, and she came in the room and said, "Oh, he seemed like your armor bearer." Yep. She actually said that. That was when I was in Atlanta on my come up. I was coming up. But yeah, that was when I first got there, and I remember her saying that. Verse 7 again. And his armor bearer said unto him, do all that is in thine heart. Turn thee, behold, I am with thee according to thy heart. Then said Jonathan, behold, he will pass over to these men, and we will discover ourselves unto them, and will discover ourselves unto them. Discover. They're gonna show themselves. If they say thus unto thus, tarry until we come to you. If they say thus unto us, tarry until we come unto you. Then we will stand still in our place and will not go up unto them. But, see, there's always a cause and effect. But if they say unto thus, come up unto us, then we will go up. Conditions. There's always been conditions. If they say, and that same thing with the mule situation, when the mule that spoke, a lot of people don't realize the Creator told that prophet, he said, if the man come to call, then go with them. But they didn't. He got up and went anyway. But the people didn't catch that. I caught that long time ago. I caught that. But if they say thus unto us, tarry until the morning, until we come unto you, then we will stand still in our place, and we will not go up unto them. But if they say thus, come up unto us, then we will go up. For Yah have delivered them into our hands. See, that's the sign. You got to understand signs. See, we're going to go with it's a sign. Nope. I'm going to sign from here. For Yah. You want to go up. There it goes. Just said it too, and I ain't gonna see it. I said it before I saw it. The end of 10, verse 10 again. But if they say thus, come up unto us, then we will go up. For Yah have delivered them into our hand, and this shall be a sign unto us. See that? It's a sign. And this shows, and I said it before I read it. That's how I know the Creator be leading and guiding me. I check it as we go. It's a sign. Verse 11. And both of them discovered themselves unto the garrisons of the Philistines. And the Philistines said, behold, the Hebrews come forth out of the holes where they had hid themselves. 12. And the men of the garrisons answered Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, come up. Okay, there you go right there. That's your key. and his armor bearer, and said, come up unto us. That was their sign right there. That was the sign. Verse 12 again. And the men of garrison answered Jonathan and his armor bearer and said, come up unto us, and we will show you a thing. And Jonathan said unto his armor bearer, come up after me, for Yah has delivered them into our hands. See there? There we go. So they were bragging. Yep. And the men of garrison answered Jonathan and his armor bearer, verse 12, and said, come up unto us, and we will show you a thing. So they said, oh, okay, come on up here. We're going to show you something. Come up here. We're going to show you something. And Jonathan said unto his armor bearer, come up after me, for Yah hath delivered them into the hand of Israel. 13. And Jonathan climbed up upon his hands and upon his feet, and the armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer slew after him. Okay. And his armor bearer slew after him. So Jonathan went out, and his armor bearer went out fighting. And the first slaughter which Jonathan and his armor bearer made was about 20 men. Dang. And his armor bearer made was about 20 men within as it were a half acre of land, which a yoke of oxen might plow. A half an acre. Verse 15. And there was trembling in the host of the field and among all the people. The garrisons and the spoilers, they also trembled, and the earth quaked. So it was a very great trembling. So they was out there fighting, and the Creator was with them. The Creator was with them. That's why the earth was trembling. Going into 16, the Philistine destroys one another. Here we go. The Philistine destroys one another. Verse 16. Now that's my heading before we go into the next one. Verse 16. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. So let me go back into 14 and start going and read back down into 16. And the first slaughter with Jonathan and the armor bearer made was about 20 men within, as it were a half acre of land, which a yoke of oxen might plow. Verse 15. And there was trembling in the host of the field. That was the Creator, like I was saying. And there was trembling in the host in the field and among all the people. The garrisons and, I like that, trembling. And amongst all the people. and among all the people.
Right.
And the garrison and the spoilers, you need these, baby? You need them? Okay. And there were trembling in verse 15 again, and the trembling in the host in the field and among all the people, the garrison and the spoilers, they also trembled. And the earth quaked, so it was a very great trembling, right? And it says slaughter, it says trembling. The Philistine destroys one another. Okay, a great trembling. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away. They was fighting each other. That's why it was melting away. They was fighting each other. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. That was the Creator. That was the trembling uh-huh. That was the trembling. That was the trembling. The trembling was the people beating down one another. All that stuff going on, they were like, man, what's going on? But they wasn't fighting. They beat down one another. Verse 17. Then said Saul unto the people that were with him, number now and see who is gone from us. And when they had numbered, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. You know why? Because Jonathan went there and they went to go fight the garrisons, the Philistines at garrison, or the garrisons of the Philistines. Verse 18, and Saul said unto Ahiah, bring thither the ark of Yah. Okay. Yeah, he said, bring the ark. And Saul said unto Ahiah, bring hither the ark of Yah, for the ark of Yah was at that time with the children of Israel. It had made its way back. They ended up taking the ark one time, which the father released himself to them. And when before Saul had passed, before Eli passed, then it was 20 years before the ark came back, made its way back. 20 years. See, people read this story, they don't even see it like that. But it tells you in the time span, it was 20 years, then the ark made it back home, made its way back home. Say that again, baby. My baby say they haven't been taught to see the scriptures the way the scriptures is, the way it's speaking. Because it says it in the scriptures, but people don't look in the scripture to see what's really being said. And Saul said to Ahiah, verse 18, bring hither the ark of Yah, for the ark of Yah was at that time with the children of Israel. Verse 19, and it came to pass, while Saul talked unto the priests, that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Saul said unto the priests, withdraw thine hand. Withdraw thine hand. Verse 20. And Saul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. This is when Saul and them came to the battle. And they came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great discomfort. That was the Creator doing it. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, which went up with them into the camp from the country around about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites. You see that? Some of them went to go be with the Philistines, according to what it understanding to me. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines, they were staying with them before that time, which went up with them into the camp from the country round about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul and Jonathan. So they went back to be with their people. They was amongst them, but they turned back to be with their people. The Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, before then, which went up with them into the camp from the country round about. Even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul and Jonathan. So they turned back and went home with the ones they're supposed to be with anyway. They went back to their own people. But what happened over here? Let me get you some energy real quick. You're about to go out. Excuse me, y'all. We got Instagram about to go. We gotta go ahead and get him some energy real quick. Look like it already went. Maybe. Excuse me, y'all. Let's see what happened to Instagram. Yeah, we still here. All right, good. We still here. All right, Instagram. Make sure you still here with us. It's almost gone for a moment. Let's switch you in YouTube up. There we go. We got you back. Glad you're back here. You almost was gone. Now, back to the story. Okay. Verse 21. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, which went up with them into the camp from the country round about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul and Jonathan. So they turned back with their people, turned back with their own people. Verse 22. Likewise, all the men of the Israelites which had hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in the battle. So they followed them to battle, I guess, battle against them. So Yah saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over to Bethaven. All right. So we're going to end this right here for part one. But the second part, we're going to do part two with the other half of 14, starting at 24. But we're going to start back at 20. Let me see how much more time I got here. Okay, yeah, we got a little time. We're gonna be able to do that. So I might start back here at verse 16. I might go back to 16 and go into it and read on down into it, just so everybody know. But we're gonna start back at verse 24. We're in 1 Samuel. We're going through the book of Samuel. We're going through the book of Samuel. We're in chapter 14 today, and I call this Jonathan and Saul. This is 1 Samuel, the book of 1 Samuel, and today is going to be called Jonathan and Saul. So we get ready to end part one at this point in time. Other than that, I'd just like to say at this point or just say in general that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael that in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And just give you a small recap at this point. Chapter 14 is really talking about what happened. See, 13 gave you a small synopsis of what 14 is talking about. 14 is giving you the full story compared to what chapter 13 was saying. So if you go in and read chapter 13, and then when you read 14, you'll see more of a story of what happened at 13. So this is how we're supposed to read the scripture. This is how you study to find out what the word is actually saying, what history is saying, because this is actually our history, what prophecy is saying, and how you line up word for word, precept upon precept. This is word for word and precept upon precept when you add everything accordingly, not just find something in the word, just stick it together because it look like the same. No, you take the same thing that's being said and line it up accordingly. This is true precept upon precept, word for word, all right? And just so I give you that, we'll go to this Isaiah 28, just to give you that fact before we pull all the way out. Now I said that. Isaiah 28, because 29 is when we get into where everybody's blind. Isaiah chapter 28 states right here where we at. You can get my glasses real quick. Yeah. 28 and 13. Well, let's start. Well, actually, ooh, dang. I'm just going to read from 8 down to 13 real quick, just to share your understanding according to what was being, to understanding that. 8 to 13, I'm just going to read this down real quick. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. And this is what's going on with how they're using the Creator's word. This is how they use the Creator's word. For all tables, all religions are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine, which is understanding his law? Doctrine is actually his law. People say doctrine is a word with doctrine is actually the law which we're supposed to be understanding. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Where you get that from? They say that over in the New Testament, but where it come from? Right here. See, whom shall he teach knowledge? And these are those who start to understand and have knowledge. I would say, get wisdom, get knowledge, but in all thy getting, get an understanding.
That's the coat of wisdom.
Say again, baby.
Understanding is the coat of wisdom and knowledge.
You hear my baby? Understanding is the coat of wisdom and knowledge. I like that. That sounds smooth. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk, that means these people who at least know some information, and drawn from the breast. That means you are now understanding. When you're sucking on a tit, you're still a baby. You don't have no understanding. But those who are weaned from the milk and from the breast, now you have some understanding. You start eating some flesh. Meat is actually not flesh as in meat, but meat as in fruits and vegetables. That's what real meat is. For precept, verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, upon line, here a little and there a little. And this is what I share. This is what I share. Verse 11, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. And he is me. See, a lot of people don't understand when they say, I need to go through this whole situation to let you understand what's being said. But the whole thing is those who has come to learn, have the Spirit upon them, and who is learned will teach those doctrine, as it says in verse 9, and shall make them to understand doctrine, make them have understanding, right? Because for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. And I'm not speaking my regular tongue. No, I'm not. Neither are those who has come to learn the real knowledge of the information. 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. Rest in the word, rest in the law. And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. You see this? Same thing going on today. This is the refreshing, the knowledge of Yah, but they wouldn't hear. Why? Because they're running to what they run into the precepts of men. That's why this goes into chapter 29. Verse 13, and last point for the moment. But the word of Yah was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. That's how they use the creative word in the New Testament. They see, I'm giving you line upon line, precept upon precept upon the law and the word. But what they have done, they give you line upon line, precept upon precept according to the New Testament, which has been made up by the precepts of men. Have understanding. Do you get it, baby?
Yeah.
That's the understanding. That's why I said, but the word of Yah was unto them. Who is them? Those of religion, those of Christianity, those of Buddhism and Prophet Muhammad, anybody who's not keeping the law. If you're in a religion, this is you. This is them. But the word of Yah was unto them, precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backwards and be broken and snared and taken. The same concept. Now, this right here is them of the New Testament, but verse 8, well, that's 8 and 13. But 9, 10, and 11, like call my women to rest. Yeah, but they were not here. 9, 10, and the first 11 and the first half of 12 is what I just shared with you today in 1 Samuel chapter 14. This is going on. I'm just showing you 14 and in chapter 13, how in 13 it's a small synopsis of what was actually happening in the story in chapter 14 of 1 Samuel. Now you have an understanding of what's going on. Precept upon precept according to the truth. But you got people in religion that's going precept upon the false. And I shared that in the what's called the something of a prophet. I think I said the understanding of a prophet. I forgot how I went. I just did this Monday. I can't think of it's the something of a prophet. Not the understanding, not discern. I can't think of it right off. But it's something of the prophet that I just did. And when I break down the information, you can see it clearly. What I just shared with you. But other than that, we'll be right back. I did meet Kyle. So if you'd like to get in contact with me, you can always call or text me at 770, which that phone is off right now. Not off, it's actually still working, but my phone is blank. It's blank at the moment, but that's still my direct number, how you can get in contact with me. I do have a second number, but that's more like a private number. So I'm not giving that one out, but I will give you ways to get in contact with me if you like. And that number is 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. 5315. And also leave a voicemail, because I can't get into it to check it and everything. Leave a voicemail and I will catch you from there. And you can always email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. All right. This right here, Father just gave you both points. And let me go ahead and put this in so I can have it on point right here. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he then? I'm just going to do it. This is Isaiah 28, verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line. You know how many people use this and don't understand what they're using?
They're using according to the New Testament.
Exactly, using according to verse 13. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little, right? For with stammering lips and another tongue, which is what we're doing at this point, for with stammering lips and another tongue, he, which is those that anointed of the Father, his chosen, will speak to his people, to whom he said, it is the rest wherewith ye may cause to weary the rest, right? And this is the refreshing. Yes, it is. This is refreshing of the word and of the law and of the understanding of his word. But what does it say? Yet they would not hear. Curse. Yet they would not hear. But the word of Yah, think about this, listen what it says. But the word of Yah was unto them. And this is all those so-called Hebrew Israelites that's in the Yahshua and Jesus and turned the prophet melanated. This is them. But the word of Yah was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line. See, they don't see the word them is what stands out. The word was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backwards and be broken and snared and taken. They don't even realize this was going on with it. All these people who's using the Father's words for the New Testament, this is you right there. This you. Y'all caught up and don't even know it. So other than that, like I said, I gave you my number. My email is lkhyym@gmail.com. And you can always catch me on YouTube. My YouTube is at JuicePro2012. That's @ JuicePro2012 all together. Or you can put in the search engine Michael the Juice Harris. That's MICHAEL space THE space JUICE space HARRIS. That's Michael the Juice Harris. You can always catch me there, and you separate them out on YouTube. Now, I just give that much. At the end of part 2, I give the full information how you can get in contact with me and how you can go to my platforms and the Zooms and the different platforms that we'll be doing throughout the week. So other than that, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. This is the end of part 1, and this is called Jonathan and Saul. Actually, I'm saying Ezekiel. Actually, 1 Samuel chapter 14. See, that 14 is my key. Ezekiel 14 is one of my favorite babies. But yeah, 1 Samuel chapter 14. This is the first half, which is part 1. We're going into part 2 in a few moments. So other than that, first we're going to say pause to Zoom, since you're the longest and you're the full version. We're going to pause you real quick, Bev and also Cass. We'll be right back, my bruh and my sis out there in the UK. Thank you for being here with us on this day, on the Sabbath, which is the Father's Day, on this Assembly of the Righteous. And we'll be right back with part two. I'll pause you real quick. And all right. Greetings, 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 or should I say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Greetings, everyone. This is part two of Assembly of the Righteous. We're here every Sabbath day at 12 p.m. noon, between 12 p.m. and or maybe a little bit after we get started. It depends if I'm still setting up. But around 12 p.m. noon, we're here at Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath. And today is what we call July 26, 2025. July 26, 2025. Also like to say, I give a shout out to my first children's mother, which is, her name is Dina. Dina, I ain't gonna say her full name, but her name is Dina. Happy belated Earth Day, Dina, which was your Earth Day, was yesterday. Other than that, we're in 1 Samuel chapter 14. The First Samuel chapter 14. We're in the other half of First Samuel right now. We started off with part one, which is actually the full version of chapter 13. 1 Samuel chapter 13 gave you a synopsis, a little bit of synopsis of 14, maybe 14 and 15. I don't know, but we're not going to 15 till next week, because we're gonna end up 14 at this point in time. But chapter 13, this is a synopsis of that. And if you go into, because if I go in there, I'll be starting over again. So if you go into checking out 1 Samuel chapter 14, which is Jonathan and Saul, which is what this is called today, which I named it, Jonathan and Saul, which is actually 1 Samuel chapter 14. You'll see a lot more information in there, and what pertains to as well, what we just shared. And I got to do this again since I just got to reading it. And my mind is taking me there, so I might as well do it. When my mind takes me somewhere, I have to do what I say I'm gonna do, or what the Spirit shares me. And I just did it, but I'm gonna do it again since we're at the beginning. We're at the beginning of chapter 2. I have to give you an understanding real quick of something that I just shared at the end of 4, because a lot of people ain't gonna go back and check it out, so I ain't gonna worry about it. But I'm gonna go here and share what I just shared a few moments ago. A lot of people don't know that in Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9 through 13, actually 8 through 13, you'll understand what's going on today and with the people. The people have, well, let me show you. I'm going to read it to you, give you an understanding, then we'll go into 14. So I'm going to start off just sharing with you what I shared at the end of, this is a synopsis, but the end of part 1. And this is, I went into Isaiah chapter 28 to give you an understanding that it says, verse 18, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. This all religions have stolen from the word of Yah. All religions have stolen from the word of Yah. All religions are wrong. I don't care what you call them. Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, whatever it is, if it's not according to the law, as the law states, it's idolatry. All right? But let me go ahead and finish up. Verse 8, Isaiah 28:8. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Now, this is the Creator speaking on the facts compared to what they've taken the facts and made it for falsehood, which is the 13th verse and the last part of 12. But we're going to go into the Father's words. Verse 9, whom shall he is those who the Father has anointed and given his word to teach truth. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. As we said, those who have come to know knowledge. When you're sucking on your mother's tit, on your mother's breast, those who are weaned from the milk and weaned and wean from the breast. Those who have come to know some knowledge. That's what this is speaking of. Wean from the milk and drawn from the breast. Verse 10, Isaiah 28:10. For precept must be upon, listen to what it says. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips, which we are speaking right now, which is this English tongue, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people, to this people, talking about us. He is those that the Creator has anointed. Those that knows the Creator's word. They're the ones he's going to be speaking to this people. Verse 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, which is in the Creator's word, which is in the Creator's law. And this is the refreshing. The refreshing is the law and the truth. But yet they would not hear. They are those who are in idolatry, those who are going with the precepts of men. This is what this is talking about at this point. This goes from the end of 12 into 13 of Isaiah 28. And it says, yet they would not hear, but the word of verse 12. But the word of Yah was unto them is the key. But the word of Yah was unto them. Them. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. See, they take the same thing that was said in verse 10 and went and put it in verse 12, and that they may go and fall backward. That they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Guess how that happened? By the Council of Nicaea, by the word that was put there for you to believe in a lie. I shared that in this past Monday on Mikhail's Knowledge of Truth on, dang, I can't remember what the title was. The difference of a prophet, that's what it's called. The difference of a prophet. The real prophet compared to those who are telling the lies. The difference of a prophet is what it's called. I just did this past Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on my Zoom, which is the full version. But it says, but the word of Yah was unto them is the key. Precept upon precept, line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backwards and be broken and snared and taken. Why? Because they're not going with the word of Yah. They're going with the precepts of men. Uh-oh. I went way back to 2 Chronicles 18. I'm supposed to be in, nope. I'm supposed to be way over here. There we go. That's where I'm at. So this is just giving you understanding of what has happened compared to where we are today. All right? Now. Larry. Now we're going to get into part 2 of Jonathan and Saul. Jonathan and Saul. This part 2. And we're going to, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to recap back at 16 to go into, because we probably getting ready to start at 24, which is Saul's curse. But I'm going to recap at 16 so we can get back on point. Man, this thing right here is smearing.
That was my
That looks a little better.
So,
Yeah, that looks much better. Much better. Okay. We'll start at 16. Philistine destroys one another. And the reason why we're going to start here is because there was a certain portion where Jonathan and his armor bearer went up and they started, and the father started with the use the Philistines to kill to slaughter each other. So let's start at 16. I'm gonna go at 22, but I'm going to go ahead and start at 16. It said, I'm just gonna read it through so we can get to 24 where we actually will begin started at. And the watchmen of Saul in Gibeah of Benjamin, this is verse 16, 1 Samuel 14, verse 16. And the watchmen of Saul of Gibeah of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. The multitude, I mean, they was slaughtering each other, which was the Philistines. Then said Saul unto the people that were with him, number now and see who is gone from before, gone from us. And when they had numbered, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer was not there. So when they numbered everybody, Jonathan and his armor bearer wasn't there. Why? Because they went up and they did their thing. This is what I meant, precept on precept. When you read this, chapter 14, you can see the concept of the precept, shall I say, in chapter 13. That's why I went to there, so you have an understanding. Verse 18, and Saul said unto Ahiah, bring hither the ark of Yah, for the ark of Yah was at that time with the children of Israel. And Ahiah was the son of Phinehas. Phineas, I'm saying fine, was the son of Phineas, which was Eli's son, which was, I believe, the child that was born to his wife when when he passed in the battle, when they took the ark. Verse 19, and it came to pass while Saul had, man, that's something. The ark was gone 20 years, and when they took the ark is when the baby was born. Remember? See that? That's how come his son, which was what's his name again? It wasn't Ahiah, I don't believe. Ahiah bring hither the ark. I guess it was Ahiah. It was Ahiah. Hither the ark of Yah, for the ark of Yah was at that time with the children of Israel. Verse 19. After the 20 years that the ark was gone, the ark made its own way back home. And it came to pass, while Saul talked unto the priest, that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Saul said unto the priest, withdraw thine hand. 20. And Saul and the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great discomfort. They all was fighting each other. Every sword was against his fellow. And they all was, and there was a very great discomfort. Put that. I like to go back. I'm glad I'm caught this. And behold, every man sword was against his fellow. Fellow man, that is, was against his fellow man. And there was a very great discomfort. Verse 21. Moreover, the Hebrews, and check this out. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before that time, there was some staying with the Philistines. Before that time, which went up with them into the camp from the country round about, which is from their own country, even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul and Jonathan. So they turned back to their own people. Verse 22. Likewise, all the men of Israel which had hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines in Mount Ephraim, I like going back a little bit. That gives me more things to come back on when I'm into it. At first, I come back and I see something I may have missed. When they heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in the battle. 23. So Yah saved Israel. You see that? So Yah saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over to Beth-aven. Beth-aven. So Yah saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over to Beth-el. Yah saved them. How? He had them turn their swords against each other. They fighting each one, thinking they're fighting an enemy. Have y'all ever looked at something? Y'all think y'all saw something, but it wasn't what it was? Their minds was confused. Saul's curse, verse 24. Now we getting into part 2. Verse 24. And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening. You see that? Why he said it, I don't know. I guess we'll see why he said it. Saul's curse. And the men of Israel were distressed. That's what I meant. I said addressed. That day. For Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged on mine enemies. So none of the people taste any food. That didn't make any sense to me. Y'all eat any food? I don't know. He may have thought y'all was supposed to do it, but I don't hear him saying anything but y'all name in there. Yeah. And the men of Israel, yeah, that's the whole point. He never recognized Yah. You see that?
Is that the correct way?
Yeah.
That's the correct.
Say that again, Cass. If you weren't saying that, let me put you on pause real quick. Mute.
Sorry, Pops. Let me pause it because I'll get in some call coming in there.
All right, I got you. I thought you were sharing something about the word. Okay, verse 24 again. And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged. You see that? We catch it every time, don't we? He ain't say, It's always I. That I may be avenged on mine enemies. See? We get down to the grits in here. That I may be avenged on. Remember? Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Even though we know we even got to David yet, David always recognized Yah. He kept recognizing it himself. He always recognized himself. He never recognized Yah, that I may be avenged. Exactly.
Everything was provided
For them, yep, through Yah. He was king through Yah.
Yeah.
He was anointed. Now, I don't know if he was anointed or not. Yeah, he was anointed. Yeah. Because Saul did anoint him king, and then the spirit even came over. But he kept saying that I may be avenged on mine enemy. And that's the difference. What did your Jesus say? That he said, you have heard of old time, but I say unto you. You see that? That's what your Jesus was saying. Say again, Mike. That I may be avenged on my enemies. So none of the people taste any food. And there you go. They didn't eat because he said that. Yeah. And all they of the verse 25. I got circle 24 real quick. Make sure I keep that. And this is what people don't catch. This is what people don't catch. And all they of the land came to the wood, to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground. There was honey upon the ground. And when the people were come into the woods, behold, the honey dropped but no man put his hand to his mouth. I remember this story, but I remember it, I'm looking at it better now with the understanding. And when the people were come into the wood, behold, the honey dropped. But no man put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. They feared the oath. But Jonathan heard not when his father charged the people with the oath. Therefore he put forth the end of his rod that was in his hand, and dipped it in a honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes was enlightened. See that? Jonathan was green. Mm-hmm. 27 again. But Jonathan heard not when his father charged the people with the oath, wherefore he put forth the end of the rod that was in his hand, and dipped it in a honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes were open, was enlightened. Now, you know what I'm seeing here? Now, Saul wanted to get the ark of Yah, verse 18. Saul wanted to get what said to Ahiah, bring hither the ark of Yah, for the ark of Yah was at that time with the children of Israel. He didn't say he did it. He didn't say for Yah would do this. He just said, bring here the ark of Yah. And it came to pass, while Saul talked unto the priest, that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Saul said unto the priest, withdraw thine hand. And Saul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. And behold, they came to the battle. The difference is this. What I'm seeing here, what I'm seeing here, they came to the battle, and behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great discomfort, right? And when they came to the battle, they see every man against himself. And then what happened was this. What I'm seeing in this, baby, is when Saul seen every man against themselves, he didn't recognize Yah in that. He seen that every man was against themselves. But he never, so Yah saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over to Beth-Haven. See, down here it says that you never see when Saul never gave Yah the praise. Saul never gave Yah the praise, but it did state in here, Yah saved Israel that day. But then in 24, it says, at the end of 24, that I may be avenged upon my enemies. You see that? He seen Yah was doing it, but he said that I may be, instead of saying Yah have avenged us on our enemies. Right. Giving Yah the praise. See the difference? Now I see things as I'm reading, as I'm going through. You see that? So he saw that, but he still never gave Yah the praise. He said that I may be avenged on my enemies. Said that Yah have avenged us on our enemies. And 27 again. Now back to 27. And Jonathan heard not his father when his father charged the people with the oath. Wherefore he put forth the end of his rod that was in his hand, and dipped it in the honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes was enlightened. Then answered one of the people and said, thy father straightly charged the people with an oath, saying, cursed be the man that eateth any food this day. And the people were faint. See, and it was faint. Now, what I believe Saul was trying to do, but he didn't say it because everything has to be said. He said it to himself. He didn't say it according to Yah. He said that I might be avenged. So when he said y'all gonna fast, what he was, I believe. Well, I ain't gonna don't believe, huh, baby? What he's saying is this: he know y'all did the work, but he was taking the credit. I'll put it like that.
If your heart is truly for Yah, you're gonna acknowledge him
Exactly.
and all that he does.
That's true. But what he did was, and I'm just saying hypothetically because I want to put it there because we see what happened. He seen y'all was doing it, but he wanted the people fast because of y'all, but he didn't recognize y'all. He recognized himself. You see what I'm saying? He knew y'all was doing it, but he didn't say y'all. He recognized himself. And that's why he said that he got him and somebody else. Samuel said that he appointed him another person in his place. I forced myself to sacrifice. It wasn't your place to do it in the first place. Then verse 25, 28 again. Then answered one of the people and said, thy father straightly charged the people with an oath, saying, cursed be the man that eateth any food this day. And the people were faint. They was faint. Because he knew y'all was doing it, but he didn't recognize y'all in doing it. This is how come you're supposed to study to understand. Then said Jonathan, my father has troubled the land. See there? My father has troubled the land. See, I pray you, how my eyes have been enlightened because I taste a little of this honey. He's saying my father troubled y'all because this would give you strength. That's what his enlightenment was. Because I taste a little of this honey. How much more if happily the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies, which they found. For had there not been now a much greater slaughter among the Philistines. And they smote the Philistines that day from Mishmath to Ayalan, Elijah, I wouldn't say Elijah but Eliawan. And the people were very faint. They could have got killed off. They was fighting with no food. And the people were very faint. Verse 32. And the people flew upon the spoil and took sheep and oxen and calves and slew them on the ground. And the people did eat them with the blood. You see that? They slew them, they ate them with the blood. Yeah, they were hungry. They should have ate the honey. They know not to eat blood. And I can't hear you, baby, back while you back there. And the people flew upon the people and took sheep and oxen and calves and slew them upon the ground. And the people did eat them with the blood. Very true. Then they told Saul, saying, behold, the people sin against Yah in that they eat with the, there you go, see? Then they told Saul, How you gonna tell people not eating out there warm? Y'all see that? Verse 32 again, 32 and 33. And the people flew upon the spoil and took sheep and oxen and calves and slew them on the ground. And the people did eat them with the blood. Then they told Saul, saying, Behold, the people sin against Yah in that they eat with the blood. And he said, Ye have transgressed. Roll ye a great stone unto me this day. Until who? Boy, this Saul is something. Everything Saul is something else, boy. See that? This is precept upon precept. This is how you know the word of Yah compared to I. You know what I'm saying? See, Yah, if you notice, he's always speaking upon himself. And he said, Ye have transgressed, roll a great stone unto me this day. Verse 34. And Saul said, disperse yourselves among the people and say unto them, Bring me hither every man his ox and every man his sheep, to slay them there, and eat, and sin not against Yah in eating with the blood. You see that? Oh, he said that. And sin not against Yah in eating with the blood. And all the people brought every man his ox with him that night, and slew them there. Verse 35. And Saul built an altar unto Yah, that the same was the first altar that he built unto Yah. That was the first altar he did when he said the same was the first altar. So the first altar was the one day he slew on when he said he forced himself. When he said he forced himself. So and Saul built an altar unto Yah. The same was the first altar that he built unto Yah. This was the same altar. And Saul said, Let us go down after the field. This was the same altar. So he forced himself. Hold on, let's go over here and check that out. In verse 13, chapter 13. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto Yah. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. See that? This is precept upon precept. You see that, baby? You ain't with me no more. You was with me at one time. And sin not against Yah in eating with the blood. And all the people brought every man his ox with him that night and slew them there. 35. And Saul built an altar unto Yah. The same was the first. This was the same altar. Where you at, baby? In the bedroom? Okay. And Saul built an altar unto Yah. The same was the first altar that he built unto. It was the same altar. This chapter 13, verse 12. (13 and 12). You'll find that there. This is precept upon precept, y'all. Verse 36. And Saul said, let us go down after the Philistines by night and spoil them until the morning light. And let us not leave a man of them. And they said, do whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Then said the priest, let us draw near hither unto Yah. The priest is speaking in Yah's name. Let us draw near hither unto Yah. 37. And Saul asked counsel of Yah. Now he asking counsel of Yah. And how he asking? He's asking through the priest. Shall I go down after the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them unto the hand of Israel? Now listen how he's talking. Listen and understand the difference. This is what people don't do. They don't listen to understand the difference. 37. And Saul asked counsel of Yah, shall I, he asking, shall I go down after the Philistines? To the Philistines, wilt thou deliver them into the hand of Israel? But he answered him not that day. He didn't even talk. See that? You see that? Father didn't even answer him. See, this is when you start to study and understand why. See, some people just read across that, don't even have an understanding. Well, why he didn't come? Why he didn't answer him? Why he didn't do that? What? They don't even understand. He didn't answer him because everything he's doing is upon himself. He answered him not that day. He didn't even answer him that day. Why? It's because now Saul is asking counsel of Yah. And the only reason why, then said the priest, let us draw near. See, it was the priest that guided him to say it. And Saul asked counsel of Yah, shall I go down after the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them unto the hand of Israel? But he answered him not that day. And Saul said, draw ye, now go Saul, draw ye near hither all the chief of the people, and know and see whether this sin has been this day. Now, if you look at this, he think the sin is because the people ate the blood. Guess why the people ate blood? Because he told them don't eat nothing. He said don't eat. If you ain't cursed be any man who eat anything. And how you gonna be out there fighting and with the empty belly? You're hungry. They couldn't even eat some grapes or the honey or anything to be enlightened to help them fight. That was dumb. It was stupid. Even though he saw that the Creator had them fight against each other, he still took it upon himself. If any of you go, he said, I have been avenged upon my enemies. He don't give credit no credit. He didn't give the Creator no credit until someone spoke in the name of the Creator. And if I done it, forgive me, Father, if I did it not recognizing it. But I always try to put the Creator first. Always. I mean, I say it all the time right off, but I always try to put the Creator number one. I know the Creator walks with me. And I give him all my praise. Neither hither all the chief of the people and know and see whether this sin has been this day. Yeah. Again, 38. And Saul said, draw ye near hither, and all the chief of the people. All the chief of the people. He's talking about the chief. All the chief of the people. And know and see whether this sin has been this day. For as Yah liveth, which which saveth Israel, though it be in Jonathan my son. See, he know Jonathan did it. Though it be in Jonathan my son. He know Jonathan saved Israel. He shall surely die. You see that? He still want him to die, even though he saved Israel. He's the one who did the work. And Yah was with him because he asked for a sign, and Yah gave him the sign. As Yah liveth, which saveth Israel, though it be in Jonathan my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people that answered him. They ain't acquiesced. See that, baby? See, they acquiesced. They ain't say nothing. They ain't agree. But there was not a man among all the people that answered him. Then said he unto all Israel, be ye on one side, and I and Jonathan my son will be on the other side. And the people said unto Saul, do what seemeth good unto thee. 41. Therefore Saul said unto Yah, our father of Israel, give a perfect lot. Okay. Now he's speaking in the name of Yah here. Therefore Saul said unto Yah of Israel, give a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul said, cast lots between me and Jonathan, my son, and Jonathan was taken. Okay, I wonder what these taken mean. Therefore Saul said unto the Yah, we will give a perfect lot, give a lot. Lot is when they used to, some would say roll dice. They have like different certain, like a lot is like when you flip a coin. When you flip a coin, you catch it, and whatever the lot is that calls from that point. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul said, cast lots, cast lots. Sometimes lots is when they draw strings, when they draw straws. They draw straws. They all look the same, but whichever the taller or the smaller is the one. You know what I'm talking about? Between me and Jonathan, my son, and Jonathan was taken. The people saved Jonathan. Okay, this is 43 coming in. The people saved Jonathan. And you know what? That was my son's name. My last son that was born, Jonathan. Jonathan. That's what the last woman that had my last child, which was I can't think of her name. I'm seeing it. She had my son, my last son. He was here for 10 days, and he passed. But his name was I say Jonathan, which was Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan, which is John. It came to her in the dream what his name was. But not only, no, it came to her in the dream what the name was, but I call him Mikael. So we ain't gonna call him Mikael. You already got a Mikael, which was my youngest son. But I still was adamant about calling him Mikael. But after he passed, his auntie, which was her name was Tanisha, that had my last son. She had a dream, and she saw him, a little boy, playing in the sand, in the dirt, right? And she seen his name, Jonathan. I forgot how the dream went when she told me about the dream, but Jonathan was his name, Jonathan. But I said, was it another name? I don't know. Somebody said, was it another name? Yeah, his name is Mikael Jonathan, or Jonathan Mikael. His middle name would have been Mikael, but we would have called him. His name was Jonathan. Jonathan, 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 which is Joe. I called him Jonathan, Jonathan, right? Joe Nathan. That just hit me as again. I thought about it earlier, but it just hit me right now as we it meant gift from God. Something I forgot what the meaning was, but he was here with us for 10 days before he passed. So I just wanted to share that. And I'm seeing Jonathan here. Jonathan Mikael, it was his name. But verse 43. Then Saul said unto Jonathan, this is the people say Jonathan. Jonathan. Then Saul said to Jonathan, tell me what thou hast done. And I'm saying Jonathan now. And Jonathan told him and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of the rod that was in my hand, and lo, I must die. And Saul answered, Yah doeth so and more also, for thou shalt surely die, Jonathan. 45. And the people said unto Saul, shall Jonathan die who have wrought this great salvation in Israel? The people said that. In Israel, Yah forbid. As Yah liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he hath wrought with Yah. See that? See how they say it? As Yah liveth, there shall not a hair of his head fall to the ground. People have more confidence in Yah than Saul did, because Saul only spoke of him majority of the time. As Yah liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he hath wrought with Yah. For he hath wrought with Yah. So the people rescued Jonathan, and that he died not. But everything fell on the way that was said, though. The father didn't answer Saul that day. So that was a sign. That was a sign. For he have wrought with Yah. Shall Jonathan die, who have brought this great salvation in Israel? Yah forbid. As Yah liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground. For he hath wrought with Yah this day, so the people rescued Jonathan, that he died not. So if you notice, everything was still, no matter what. When you look at this, 40, 41, and 42. Then said he unto all Israel, be ye on one side, and I and Jonathan, my son, will be on the other. See, this right here. This is how the Father is perfect in everything he do, no matter what. How the Father is perfect in everything he do. And he's showing you he's perfect, no matter if Saul was what he was. He may didn't even know who he was or what he was. But check it out. Then said he unto all Israel, be ye on one side, and I and Jonathan, my son, will be on the other side. And the people said unto Saul, do what seemeth good unto thee. So the people said, okay, you will do what's good to you, Saul. Okay, you're the king. Do what seemeth good unto you. 41. Therefore Saul said unto Yah. Now Saul is speaking unto Yah of Israel. Therefore Saul, now he's speaking and giving Yah praise. Unto Yah. Give a perfect lot, which is a sign as well, a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken. The perfect lot was on Saul and Jonathan. They were taken. And the people, you had the people, oh, there you go. I said the people on one side, Saul on one side, and Jonathan on another side. So it's 3 points. Because remember, the people ate. Remember, the people ate the blood. So they weren't sinning. But the first person who sinned, according to the king's commandment, even though he didn't hear it, was Jonathan. Because he's the first one that ate before the others ate the blood. Follow the timeline. One thing, cause and effect, but the first thing happened first out of all of it was Jonathan eating the honey. That was first. Out of everything, even though he didn't hear Saul say this, he did it. I just give you understanding of what's being said. Therefore Saul said unto Yah, give of Israel, give a perfect lot, verse 41. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. So they got out of it. 42. And Saul said, cast lots between me and Jonathan. See, cast lots first. It was lots fell on Jonathan and Saul. The people was out of it because they ate. They were supposed to, they could have passed, but the light fell on them too. And then it said, and Saul said, cast lot between me and Jonathan, my son. And Jonathan was taken. Now Jonathan was taken because he was the first one to eat the honey. He's the first one went to get the word of Saul, right? And the people saved Jonathan. Well, that was my title. Verse 43. Then Saul said, Jonathan, tell me what thou hast done. This is how they found out stuff at that time. Lots was cast. It fell on the ones who were supposed to be guilty. Same thing in the law. Same thing when it came to when it comes to someone, if they find a dead body or somebody is dead or something, and nobody know who did it. They put to cast lots, they put to find out what's going on, and they asked the creator to show them how something is to be revealed. That's in the law. Some people don't know that, but that's in the law. Then Saul said to Jonathan, tell me what thou hast done. See, now he asked, what hast thou done? And Jonathan told him and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of the rod that was in my hand, and lo, I must die. And Saul answered Yah, and Jah answered, Yah doeth so and more. Yah doeth, verse 44. And Saul answered, I'm calling him Yah. And Saul answered, Yah do so and more also. For thou shalt surely die, Jonathan. You disobeyed my word. And the Father is showing you. Verse 45. And the people said unto Saul, shall Jonathan die? Now the people is standing up for him because what he did. Now we all sin in one way or another. You're going to put him to death, and we all did it. We ate blood, but we were saved. We escaped from it. We ate blood that we know we ain't supposed to eat blood. Why? Because on your command, you told us don't eat anything, and we out here fighting, and we famished. We fighting and we're famished, but it's because of your command this happened. If you look at it. And the people said unto Saul, shall Jonathan die who have wrought this great salvation in Israel? Yah forbid. Why? It's because he did the job that we really couldn't do because we were hungry. Because of what your word said. We went with what you said do. As Yah liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he hath wrought with Yah. Even though the lies fell on him for what happened, he still wrought with Yah. He's the one who did it, and the word of Yah came to him and his armor bearer and said, "If they say come up, that's our sign." They got a sign, and where part with that? The sign was where in verse 10, chapter 14, verse 10. But if they say unto us, "Come up to us," then we will go up. For Yah hath delivered them into our hand, and this shall be a sign unto us. That's how you get to know precept upon precept, line upon line. This is real line upon line, precept upon precept. Yah forbid. As Yah liveth, there shall not come a hair upon his head, upon There shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he had brought with Yah. It was him and his armor bearer and Yah. Yah was the one that was making them turn against themselves. With Yah this day. So the people rescued Jonathan, your Nathan, that he died not. 46. Then Saul went up from following the Philistines. Then Saul went up from following the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own places. See there? Then Saul went up from following, so he let them alone, and the Philistines went to their own places. Saul's victory and family tree. Now, his victories and his family tree. This is the last point before we get to 15. Next week, I'm already going to tell you what next week is. Next week is Yah reject Saul rejected of Yah. I'm just going to say Yah. It said Yah rejects Saul, but now he's being rejected of the Father. That's going to be next week's title. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I already got it. He's rejected of the Father at that point. But right now, this was about Jonathan and Saul. And right now, this is 47. We're in 47. We're gonna take it to 52. And we're gonna end it from here. This is the end of today with 1 Samuel chapter 14. Next Sabbath will be in chapter 15. Saul's victories and family tree. Now, let me go ahead and make sure I make points. The family tree, Saul's victory. Now, his victories and his family tree. Verse 47. So Saul took the kingdom over Israel and fought against all his enemies on every side. Against Moab. Now these are the Moabites. These are the Moors. For all you who don't know who the Moors are, Moab is the Moors. And go back before the Moab is the Moabites, who are Lot's children through his daughters. These are the Moors of today, who became a great nation in the world, educated the Edomites or educated the Caucasians. These are the Moors who became a great nation. Matter of fact, Naomi was a Moor. She was a priestess. She was a Moabite. Or is that Ruth? No, it was Ruth, my bad. Naomi was the mother of two Israelite sons that passed, and Ruth was a Moabite. I hope I got that right. It's one of the others in the book of Ruth. I may be saying it backwards, but you know what I'm talking about. But the whole point, she was a priest, a Moabitist priest. You'll never find a priestess in Israel. The Father never ordained one. And he never ordained a priestess or a woman to be over the people. You won't find it. I'm about to go into it, but you won't find it. Just go back there and find it. Look. You'll find prophetess. You will find that, but you won't find priestess, or women that's over the. She may be a leader. She may be a judge. When I say leader, I'm talking about a judge. That type of leader, as in a prophetess. You've got several different prophetess in the book. Prophetess that Yah speak through and they give a word. But you won't find them as priests or priestess, as in being over the people and teaching the people, maybe children or people. Like we have some situation like that in this day and time, because some women come to learn certain things, but not of the word of Yah. But you have people put themselves in that position. Now, Saul took the kingdom over Israel and fought against all his enemies on every side. You see that? Fought against all his enemies. He didn't say love thy enemies. He said fought against his enemies. You got to know who gave you what you're getting to understand what was put there. The precepts of men. On every side, against Moab, first one I start with, which is the Moabites, which is the Moors of today, and against the children of Ammon, the Ammonites, the cousins or the kinfolk. And here you go, Edom. I always tell you, you don't find Moab and Edom too far from each other. The Moabites is the ones who taught the Edomites. The Edomites is over the world today in the original form, but now they call them Romans and Greeks. But the Edomites are over the world today. So against Moab, against the children of Ammon, against Edom, which is the Edomites, which is over the world today, and against the kings of Zobah, and against the Philistines, and whithersoever he turned himself, he vexed them. Saul did that. Saul was a good king. I guess he was a great king when it comes to war. The Father was with him in that point. When it come to war, Saul did his thing. And whethersoever he turned himself, he vexed them. And he gathered a host and smote the Amalekites, shall I say, the Amalekites, and delivered Israel out of the hand of them that spoiled them. See that? Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, which was Jonathan, Ishui, I-H-I-S, Ishui, I guess, Melchusha, and the name of his two daughters were these. The name of the firstborn, Merab, and the name of the younger, Milcah, the younger one, Milcah. And the name of Saul's wife was Ahinoam, Ahanom. I don't know. I'm trying to say it the best I can, y'all. Ahanom, the daughter of Ahamaz. I'm saying the best I can, y'all. And the name of the captain of his host were Abner. Captain of his host was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. Ner. And Kish was the father of Saul. And Ner, the father of Abner, which is his cousin. Ner is his cousin. Abner is his cousin, shall I say. Was son of Abil. And there was sore war against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And there were sore wars against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he took him unto him. When he saw anybody that was strong or valiant or good to war, he took him under his, but the Creator said that in chapter 12, verse 11 through 18. The Creator said that in chapter 12, 11 through 18. And a lot of people say it. Now, when you look at this, when you talk to some of these so-called Hebrew Israelites, Father ripped the kingdom from Saul. He ripped the spirit from Saul and all this and that. He still did all this stuff right here, all the days of his life. Even though he took the kingdom from him, the Father was still with him during these wars and during this situation. That's why I tell y'all, that's why I say line upon line, precept upon precept. Let me show y'all something. I just told you. Chapter 12, verse 11. Chapter 12, or was that? And make sure I'm right. That's probably chapter 8. I could be wrong, y'all. I might have been wrong right there. I'm glad I'm going back to check it. What's that? It was chapter 8, y'all. My bad. It wasn't chapter 12, chapter 8, verse 11 through 18. I'm still right. Let me put this on here right. I'm saying 12, chapter 8. 11 through 18. Chapter 8, my bad. Chapter 8, 11 through 6. Let me give you that real quick. Right here. I'm starting at 9. I'm going to take it on in. Now, therefore, hearken unto their voice. Howbeit ye protest solemnly unto them. Protest solemnly unto them. This is when the people ask for a king, right? The people ask for a king. Howbeit ye protest solemnly unto them and show them the matter of the king that shall reign over them. This is the Creator telling them. This is going to be the king that's going to reign unto them. Right? And Samuel told all the words of Yah to the people that asked of him a king. And Samuel told all the words of Yah unto the people that asked of him, asked Samuel for the king, for a king. Now, verse 11 to 18 is going to give you an answer to what I just shared with you. 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself. What did we just read over here? At verse 52, 1 and 52, verse 1 and 52. 1 Samuel 14, verse 52. And there was sore war against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man, Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he took him unto him, to himself. Now, let me read this again over here. It's 1 Samuel chapter 8. Now, starting at verse 11. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. Verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them, to ear his grounds, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. You see, the Creator kept saying his. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. See, all of them, my baby read, the way she read these down is how I'm reading it now. She made sure the emphasis was on him. And the Creator made sure that you understood. See, the Creator seen everything before it happened. That's why he can tell you prophecy in his book, but y'all don't, a lot of people, shall I say, don't realize that this is prophecy, which is still happening today. 15. And he will take the tenth of your seed and of your vineyards and give to his officers and to his servants. See, the tenth was supposed to go to the priest. Now he's going to take the tenth to give to his officers and to his people. 16. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. His work. 17. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. And you gonna be his servants. 18th and last verse. And ye shall, and you, which is ye, shall cry out that in that day because of your king, which you have chosen you, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. This was the prophecy of what's going on right now. So the end of chapter 14, from verse 47 to 52, excuse me, from 47 to 52, tells you of the wars and stuff that he did and that he protected Israel in. And why did he do it? And how he did it? Through the hand of Yah. Yah protected his people, which it says over here again. On a point that y'all need to understand and observe. When it said that, well, I don't got so far in here, I go back, I see certain. Right here. Verse 20, Samuel 13, 12 and 22. It said, for Yah will not forsake his people. You see that? For Yah will not forsake his people for his great name's sake. Because it have pleased Yah to make you his people. You see that? Y'all see that? This is the reason why Saul was so victorious. Thank you, Father, for bringing me that. See, y'all don't understand. The Father be bringing me straight here to see stuff to give to you in time. Right here. I'm circling this off because I want to make sure I have it. Verse 22 again. 12 and 22. For Yah will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased Yah to make you his people. 23. Moreover, as for me, Yah forbid that I should sin against Yah. And this is the reason why I came up with the prophet. What I just did this past Monday on Mikhail's Knowledge of Truth. There's something of a prophet. I can't think of it. It's not the title ain't hitting me. The difference of a prophet. There you go. The difference of a prophet. And one reason I started with this part here. It said, verse 23 again. Moreover, as for me, Yah forbid that I should sin against Yah in ceasing to pray for you. But I will teach you the good and the right way. No different than what I'm doing, and no different than what all the prophets did. Only fear Yah. Only fear Yah. And serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he hath done for you. And this is what he did with Saul. He did it with Saul by keeping Israel at bay all the time, even though he stripped Saul. And that's what I'm saying. People don't understand his word. I got so many Hebrew Israelite brothers. He stripped the kingdom from Saul. He took his presence from Saul. His presence was always with Saul. He stripped the kingdom from Saul, but his presence was always with Saul. Even in the time of when David was playing the harp or the instrument for him, because the creator still was with him, even though he was with him with the evil spirit. The negative spirit, evil spirit is still Yah's spirit. This is what I'm saying. People don't understand Yah. They talk a good game. They talk about Yah, they this and that. Yah. Oh, Yah's good. This and that. He with you in the evil. He told you, said, if you don't keep my law, I'm going to send you to the land that ye know not. There, I'm gonna send you. There, you're gonna serve other gods, wood and stone, gods your fathers have known. Where I would not show you favor. He's still with you, but he ain't showing you favor. See, the creator, people don't even understand the creator. Creator has always been with us, whether it's of the good or of the evil. He's always been with us. No different than he with Saul right then and there. Saul didn't even see. You got to understand the mind of people. See, the father knew Saul's mind. He didn't recognize the creator, but Saul knew there was a creator. How did he know there was a creator? Before he was even ordained. Where was we at? Hold on, I'm giving it to you. See, I like giving you facts. Hold on. Here we go, right here. Chapter 9. See, I'm gonna put my glasses up. See, I like giving you facts to give you understanding as we go through. See, when you go through and start studying, you can start seeing. In chapter 9, when it says, and he said unto him, chapter 9, verse 5. Starting 5, and we're gonna hit 6. I'm gonna show you something. How Saul knew there was a Yah. Knew there is a Yah, believed in Yah. And when they were come, this is chapter 9, verse 5 of 1 Samuel chapter 9. 1 Samuel chapter 9. And when they were come to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servant that was with him, come and let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses and take thought for us. Meaning he's gonna be caring about us because we've been gone for so long, looking for these asses that he sent me out to go look for, which it was Yah's purpose that he was out there in the first place. Yah's purpose, he's out there in the first place. Verse 6, and he said unto him, behold, now there is in this city a man of Yah, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither, peradventure he can show us our way, and we that we should go. And then said Saul to his servant, but behold, if we go, what shall this, verse 7? Behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring to the man of Yah. What have we? And the servant answered Saul again and said, behold, I have here at hand the fourth part of a shekel of silver. That will I give to the man of Yah to tell us our way. But the point is, he did know and understood of Yah and knew there was a man of Yah. But when he became king, he began to think about him. Oh, I'm the king, so he wasn't recognizing the creator. And that's the difference. Once you start understanding, don't care how far you get or how whatever, you always recognize, wait a minute, hold on. Another scripture. These scriptures be hitting me, y'all, and I got to hit them. See, Deuteronomy, hold on real quick. See, the scriptures be hitting. Hit me, and I'm giving you understanding according to the scriptures. I told you, I speak according to Yah's word. The voice of Yah is where I speak on. And this is where I go, and this is where I stand, and this is where I am. Because it's a part of me. Okay, Deuteronomy, I think it's around 7, 8, or 6. One moment. Because it's 6. Hold on. Oh, right here, right here. There we go. Thank you, Father. 6. I knew it was there. So I like the Father. This is how you're supposed to know the word. You're supposed to know the word. It's supposed to become a part of you. This is where the word becomes flesh. So here we go. I'm going to start at verse 10. 6 and 10. Right after the Shema. The Shema is Hear, Israel, and that's verse 4 through 9. How you supposed to teach your children this word. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and hit it since we're there. It says, Hear, O Israel, verse 4 through 9 says, and hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. And Yah shall love Yah thy Father with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and shall teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlids between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thine house and upon thine gates. Now you see that right there. A lot of people say, you got to put the fringes. Where your fringes at? I said, what the fringes is supposed to represent. When you look upon the fringes, they're supposed to represent the commandments, right? But what did it say right here? Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlids between thine eyes. That means it should be in your head. This is where the law is supposed to be. Now, I'm not doubting we ain't supposed to wear fringes. But to me, fringe, that's for outer show. That's for to show who you are, represent what have you. My point is, you're supposed to have the law here first. Now, and it says, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thine house and upon thy gate. When you have like little signs and stuff around the house about all these affirmations around the house about the law. That's what we should have. Now, warning against disobedience. This is the reason why I came here. And it shall be when Yah thy Father shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers. And that's really all over the world, because the whole land of the world is ours. The Father gave it unto Israel. Not just but the main headquarters is Jerusalem. I'm not saying it's not, but the whole world is our land. That's why we're going to be a kingdom of priests across the whole world. Unto thy fathers, and Abraham, and to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee a great and good, and to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. 11. The houses full of all good things which thou fillest not. The wells diggest which thou diggest not. Vineyards, and olive trees which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full. Let me just, before I get to when thou, it says, doesn't it sound like squatting, y'all? Just think about this real quick. And houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells dig which thou diggest not, and vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. Don't that sound like you done went and squatted in the house and you done took over a house for you to have knowledge to come to know the information on how to get the house? I'm not telling you that's what you should do, but isn't that what it sounds like? No different than coming to understanding the knowledge of being free, which is by being in your private status. See, a lot of people don't understand this word. When you understand this word, you can see this word clearly. But let's get to the key of the reason why I'm here. Verse 12, then beware lest thou forgettest Yah. See, this is what Saul did when he became king. This is what a lot of our people do once you get money, once you get status, once you get into a place where you don't, well, hey, you belittle other people. People don't get it. This word is everything. You just have to see it spiritually. Then beware. Let me make sure I get this. Put this one in orange. Then beware, lest thou forget Yah thy Father, which brought thee out. This is in pink. Yeah, because this is more like a curse. This is a curse. Curses and blessings. This is pink. Then beware, lest thou forget of Yah thy Father, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou, and this said, listen up, okay, bam. This said, thou shalt fear Yah thy Father and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go, bam, 14. Ye shall not go after other deities of the gods of the people which are round about you. Jesus, Yahshua, Mohammed, Emmanuel, and all these gods that y'all, Buddha, and everybody else of these religions. For Yah thy father is a jealous father among you, lest the anger of Yah thy father be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Put that one in orange. Now come one of the things that they said, it has been written, ye shall not tempt Yah thy father as ye tempted him in Massa. Verse 16. Ye shall diligently, now, here go the blessing. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of Yah your father, and his testimonies, and his statutes which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of Yah your father, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in to possess the good land which Yah sware to thy father, to cast out thine enemies from before thee, as Yah has spoken. Now, ye shall diligently keep the commandments of Yah your father, and his testimonies, and the statute which he command thee, and thou shalt, 18, Deuteronomy 6 and 18, and thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of Yah. Why? That it might be well with thee. That it might be well with thee. And that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which Yah thy fathers swear unto thy fathers, to cast out thine enemies from before thee, as Yah has spoken. Well, I'm just going to leave it right there, because 20 through 25 talks about, now this is the conclusion. My brother, he got here late, but he here. Now, this is the conclusion of verse 4 through 9. I'm going to give you that since we're here. We're about to end it up, G1, but glad you're here, bro. Glad you're here. Right here, Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give you the conclusion of that from 20 to 25. This is the conclusion of that point. Now, between that, you got the blessing and the curse. Between from 9 to 19, from 10 to 19, should I say, it's a conclusion. If you don't keep the Creator's word, or if you do keep the Creator's word, this is what he gave. But if you go to Deuteronomy 6, verse 4 through 9, which is the Shema, the conclusion to 4 to 9 is 20 through 25. I'm going to give it to you right now because I came across it. Got to give it to you. Again, the Shema, Deuteronomy 6, verse 4 through 9 states again, Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father, and Yah shall love Yah thy Father with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. So to teach this to your children. As you grow up, as you grow old, you're supposed to teach the commandments and the law to your children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, as we do. Talk to my children, my son, my wife, and when I'm talking to people that's in my home. And when thou walkest by the way, when I'm out in the street, talking to the people in the streets, and when thou liest down, when me and my baby laying down, we talk about Yah, as well as other things, but we mainly talk about the Creator. And when thou rises up, we talk about the creator. It's supposed to be amongst you at all times, talking about this is how do you be full of the word, and this is how the word becomes a part of you, and the spirit becomes upon you as well. Verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand. When y'all sit up and go and certain things, when y'all, this is a sign right here. When you carry your Bible with you, that's like a bind of a sign, in a sense, plus other things. And it says, and when thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlet between thine eyes. This is when it's supposed to be, the law is supposed to be in your brain, in your mind. This is where the word becomes flesh. This is how the word becomes flesh. Everybody, oh, the word became flesh. They looking at the man in the New Testament when he's talking about you. The word comes flesh within you. And they shall bind them for frontlet between thine eyes, verse 9. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thine house. What you do when you do affirmations around the house, as I was just sharing? And thou shalt write them upon the post of thine house and upon thy gates. Now, the conclusion to what has been said right here. Verse 20. That was 4 through 9. Verse 20 says, and when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, when your children, it's saying your son, but when your children, now, my sister-in-law should be here because she asked me about this last week. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what meaneth the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Yah our Father has commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, daughter, because she's supposed to know, but the son is supposed to teach us. If you notice, say son, because they're supposed to teach their household, and the mother teaches the children, because she's supposed to grow up under this way of life as well. Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondsmen in Egypt, and Yah brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. 22. And Yah showed signs and wonders, great and sore, and upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. 23. Deuteronomy 6 and 23. And he brought us out from thence, and that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. Now he didn't only swear, but he did, but he not only swear the land of Canaan, but he also gave the world unto Israel. Everywhere our footstep on the soil is ours. That's why we was kicked out of the land. A lot of people don't understand. When he prolonged our borders, when he expand our borders, when he kicked us out the land and spread it throughout the earth. But it wasn't until a certain time, like until today, when we're starting to awaken. So everybody looking to go back to the land. But in information that me and my wife come to understand, when it comes to you being in your private office, is where you were born. Wherever you were born at. Am I right, wife? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I want them to hear it. That's why I want you to just say, mm-hmm.
Yes.
According to the information we come to know, wherever you were born is your land and where you stand. Thank you, baby. Verse 23, and he brought us out from thence, and that he might bring us in to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. Verse 24, and Yah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yah our Father, for our good always, for our good. That means to help us. So I told you, Father is always among us, whether it's for our good or for our evil. The Father is always there. Why? Because he's within us. We're anointed of the Father. But he's waiting for you and us all to turn around to the law.
That's why we got nowhere in all these years.
Say that again.
That's why we've gotten nowhere in all these years. We haven't seen the manifestations of what Father has given. Though he's always been with us, But the manifestations that he has always brought, we haven't seen them because we have not turned back to him.
And that's the problem.
We gotta turn back. You can't expect something from your father that you don't even honor. When you don't honor him, he's not gonna just say, okay, here's the days what I used to do. You've done a great atrocity against him. So now we have to turn back and ask for forgiveness, repent, and move in his laws and his statutes and in his ways.
And
It's not about a man dying on the cross for you. It's about your repentance. He said sacrifice. He don't even care about that. Obedience.
you'll find that next week. That's coming in next week's information.
Obedience is the key. Obedience is better
Then sacrifice. Period.
If the man on the cross was sacrificed for us, if that was true, why would Father even be concerned with the sacrifice?
And why would we be going through what we're going through if there's no sin no more?
He said obedience is better than sacrifice, and our obedience is what got our disobedience is what got us where we are now.
And that's the key.
If we hadn't been obedient, none of the things that we're going through, we wouldn't be going. None of the things that we're going through, we wouldn't be going through because we were obedient. We've been obedient.
And just like my wife always shared, why would I punish my good son for something that he didn't do? What sense does that make?
You don't even do that in your own household.
Except for some of them women that had that some of them people, not just women, but some of them people that have favor over a certain child than the other. And that's where I'm about to get into a whole nother subject. Yeah, they're out of order. But I'm about to go into a whole nother subject. I'm about to go into that's the reason why some of these men didn't have children, because they wanted children by the woman, but the woman couldn't have. They were bearing because they was being favored to them instead of being equal across the board. They got to understand the scriptures and the law and the power of Yah. So again, verse 24. And Yah commanded us to do all these statutes to fear Yah our Father for our good always. For our good always. Derek. I don't know Derek Rendall. Derek Rendall, I don't know if I know you. If you see me on one of the other platforms, I got to get to know you before I let you on. I wish I did. I feel like I may know, but I don't. I can't say I do. So as long as he's on one of these and let me know who they are, because I got a lot of trolls that be coming in. Fear Yah for their good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is this day. Verse 25 is the key. This shows you what is righteousness. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yah our Father as he has commanded us. You see, I got a brother right now, I'm not going to call his name out, but I got a brother right now who's saying, all he sees is the word all. If you notice, the word observe was here. If we observe, you have to observe something before you can do it. Observe to do all. Now, how you going to do something if you don't observe it to understand it to do it? I got one brother I love very much, but he done fell to the wayside as far as I'm concerned. I'm saying fall to the wayside when it comes to, one of his quotes is fear Yah, fear Yah. He said fear God and let's say something and observe. He said and don't do evil, something like that. Yeah, depart from evil. Fear Yah and depart from evil. And I said, what is evil? Fear Yah and depart from evil. What is evil? Tell me understand it. Fear Yah and depart from evil. How do you depart from evil if you don't know what it is? He don't want to give you a commandment because he'll be caught in the trap. And that's what he do. He'll tell you to fear Yah and depart from evil, but he won't tell you to keep the commandments.
That's how you fear Yah.
That's how you fear Yah. And this is where the confusion is in some of our people, and they're blinded by their own mishaps. All you got to do is read. It says, observe to do all these commandments before Yah our Father as he has commanded us. Verse 24 and 25 of Deuteronomy chapter 6 gives you the understanding of what he say do and how to do it. What you about to say, baby, before we go?
Oh, I was just saying, to observe, does it mean to observe? Okay, so when you observe something, to observe means to watch, to look, to pay attention, to do those things. That's what observing means. You may not know when somebody's, like these holidays that we have to deal with once a year. They observe certain holidays on a certain day. They observe to do that. That's what they observe. So it don't mean that you got to do all the commandments, because you can't do all the commandments in the land. You can't do them all.
No, you
know
can't.
that. You can't do it. There's no.
It's certain one. Come on, say that again.
Levites that could sacrifice or do any of those things that the Levites did.
Because that was only for the Levites to do.
So the things that you normally do are already in you, and I truly believe that they're in you from birth.
It says that. It's in the law.
Yeah, I believe that they're in you from birth.
You find that I'm glad you say that. Deuteronomy chapter 30, around the. Go ahead, baby. Say what you're saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but I just had to put that there.
But the thing I'm saying is, there are commandments that you can keep, because you think that we're not in the time of that day and this and the other. You're already keeping them. Not too many other people I know is just gonna walk out and kill somebody without cause, or murder, as you say,
murder someone
without cause. Murder somebody for no reason. Nobody is doing that. Well, people are doing that, but most people aren't. Most people aren't doing that. Most people aren't. Well, you still got a lot of violators that take each other, take another's wife, or you got violators that do that. But that's something that you can prevent. You don't have to do that. You're just choosing to do it.
Yep.
Those laws are simple to keep and simple to do. But unless you turn back to the Creator and begin to ask Him to help you in that area, then you're just gonna sit there and continue to do it. And then when it's time for us to really start going back into those laws, we've been observing them, but there's going to be a time where you're going to be required to keep those laws, or there's going to be things that happen. They're going back to the days of old.
Actually, we're close there now. We're close to that now.
They're going back.
And a lot of people don't even realize a lot of prophecy is happening right now, just by Trump sending people back home. That's part of prophecy right there.
Yeah.
Everybody going back to their own land.
Yeah.
Everybody going back to their own land. We're going to be all over the earth. Everywhere we put our foot, we're going to be all over the earth. But our homeland is where we're born. But the key that I'm going to say is that, like I said, it's near in their mouth. You go from Deuteronomy 30, verse 10 through 16 is your answer. The end of 15, I believe, is the key. But 10 through 16 is your answer. So that's Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 10 through 16. Will give you an answer on the commandments is in you. It's already near you and in you. It all depends on what you do. We know not to do certain things, but we choose to do them. Well, not we, because I don't. I choose to do what's need to be done anyway. So other than that, I like to say, first, Kaz, would you like to say something before we go? And I know you just got in. G1. If you'd like to share a little something before we go. Or at least say, hey, how you doing? If not, we can get ready to pull out.
Yeah, man, my bad, bro. I was just riding my bike. I just left a little workshop that I was at, but I meant to check you when I was traveling on the train. I was up here in Yonkers. It was a workshop on microgreens. you know how to grow them and all that in your house and stuff like that. So it's a
That's
work.
good. Okay.
I just left my yeah, just adding on with the education. But I just when I got out though, I was like, oh snap, I forgot today is the
Sabbath.
Sabbath. Yeah. So I was trying to catch you, but yeah, I tuned in a little bit too late. And but yeah, man, I'm good. I appreciate you as always. Shabbat shalom, and I'm just happy that I was able to touch base with
All
you
right.
today on the Sabbath and
He wants
on
you.
Shabbat. So everything like that. Peace, man. I appreciate you, and much love to you, your queen, and your C's, and everybody that's tuning in and doing the right thing. So
You
that's all
too,
I
my
want to say.
bro.
Peace.
You too. Peace and love to you, bro. Brother Cass, anything you like to say before we go? Cass and Bev, is there anything you like to say before we pull out?
Yes, he wants to speak to you.
Is that Bev? She said she sounds a whole lot better. How you doing, Bev?
I'm fine, thank you.
You sound good.
I'm fine.
Because I gave her a whooping earlier, that's why.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of whooping you gave her, man?
No.
I got a strap here. Snake belt.
Oh, you got a snake belt, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. She sound live and woke.
Yeah, we are kind of working on some treatment, and it seems to be doing good.
That's good.
Yes.
Bless you, my sister.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Super 8. Righteous.
I thank you guys for what you are doing. I was trying to express myself in my email.
I know. I know, and we really appreciate it too, because I know you sent it to me, but I shared it with Joanne as well.
Appreciate love.
Appreciate love, yes, bro. I gotta keep that in mind. Appreciate love, even though it's 8, not hate. I appreciate 8, not hate. But I appreciate love you too, bro. You and the sister. Sister Bev over there in UK. And just to share with you, I'm not going to say nothing much out here. It's just that what I want to say is this. When we come to a point of knowledge and information that we need, not just be sitting here and just wasting time like, okay, I'm here and okay, I'm listening to what he's saying. But this information that's being given is needed. It's not just something that it's not like a program we're looking at, okay, let me put on TV and just look at something for nothing. Everything we do is needed. And if it's needed, you take your time for it because it's beneficial for you. And this is what I meant by my reply. Everything is beneficial for us all, whether we think we need it or not, because if we didn't need it, we wouldn't be there. No different than us being here today, and whatever's being given or said is needed. It's beneficiary for us. It's beneficial for us. Now, we all have a point, like in the army. So we got some, like they had Saul. You got foot soldiers. You got some that's going to be on chariots. In the army, you got privates. You got private first class. You got sergeants. You got lieutenants. You got colonels. Everybody have their portion in the army, but everybody's doing their part. In that part in the army, everybody in the army are not for civilians. Civilians, I don't want to say they're ignorant, but civilians are just people who just willy-nilly. When you're in a structure, there's a structure for a purpose. And that purpose is Yah's army. And if everybody's in Yah's army, we all have a purpose to do the exact same thing, but not the exact same thing, because some people do one thing compared to the other. But everybody's supposed to still know that purpose, or else they just wasting space. And that's all I was trying to really kind of reiterate, not only with that, with everything that I share, everything is about purpose and things that we're doing. So it all depends on where you stand in that purpose. Because we all are doing Yah's work, whether we're gathering. Because to me, I look at you as a recruiter, bro. You're a recruiter. And by you recruiting, you still have to know information, and it's still supposed to be for your benefit as well. So by you being a recruiter, my uncle was in the army. And he was there for long enough. He got through the army, but he was always a recruiter, because I remember he used to always talk about it long before he passed, but he used to recruit people. So a recruiter is still a part of that army doing its benefit, not only for themselves, but it's to help other people. So
Right.
that's all I'm saying, bro. So that's what I
No,
meant by
I
what.
hear you. I hear you.
That's all
But
I'm saying. So the
it will
information is
come. It will
here,
come. It will come.
huh?
I said it will come. It will come.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
There, I'm getting
It's
there.
it actually is here, but yeah, it's coming and it's growing, and we are the first on this front line because what we're coming with, I don't hear nobody else talking about. And that's on all levels. That's what I'm just gonna say. On all levels. The way we come and me and my baby, the way we do things simple. Where we were at, where me and Joanne do, we do things simple, quick, fast, and in a hurry, but you make sure you get it. That's the reason why I ask questions, so I make sure you get it. No different than you see me going back and forth through the scriptures to make sure you get it. It's up to you to get it according to this. But if you're in and I'm one-on-one with you, I'm gonna make sure you got it. And that's just me. So other than that, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And I thank everybody for being here. I thank everybody for coming. G1, even though you came out, I love the effort you made to come through while you can or when you could. I thank everybody for coming through, whether if you are part of this army or if you're not, if you have came and whatever's happened in time past, this doors is always open. I don't know about conversation, but the doors is always open until the Father says and do otherwise. But until then, we all are still a family and we're growing the Father's kingdom and empire because it's all of it is our job to know, turn, and do to his will. Other than that, we're going to do the smile first, and then we're going to give the information on everything for everybody else. So, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekebo Vakum Tov V'olam Va'ed Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the reading of the word. Thank you for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. Thank you for opening our eyes to your knowledge, to your word, and to your wisdom. We thank you for giving us these things and allow us to retain them as we share with the world and as we grow. In your holy word and spirit and all things we pray. And thank you for another beautiful Sabbath day. Hallelujah. 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 Praise your Almighty. And for anybody else who would like to connect with us, they can always call me or text me at 770, even though that phone number is down at the moment because it went black yesterday. And I had to use my Instagram. I had to use my side phone, my G4 phone for you, but you know, that phone is down for the moment. I gotta get that repaired. But other than that, you can contact me at 770-572-5315, which is my main phone. Or you can text me at 770-572-5315. You can call and text me at that number. I can't answer it, but please leave a voicemail at this moment at that number. I do have my my second phone, but that's my private, so I kept it on the side. So you can always connect with me also on lkhyym@gmail.com, which is my email. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. You can connect with me there. And if you'd like to get on the platforms or know our locations or connect with me or get on any of the platforms that I'm on, the first is youtube.com. My YouTube, if you put in the search engine, @ Pro 2012. That's the @ JUICE PRO 2012, which is Juice Pro 2012 with the @ first. Or you can put in the search engine Michael the Juice Harris, which is MICHAEL space THE space JUICE space HARRIS. And from there, you catch me on YouTube. And also, let me add with you, if you want to find any of my majority or any of my videos or anything, you got to put the quotations in. Put the quotation there, and all my stuff will come up, because a lot of my stuff won't come up unless you put the quotation in. And I always do mine with the quotations. So you put the quotation in, my videos will come up quicker, or you can just subscribe to me, like, and share. Just wanted to share that. Also, you can connect with me on Instagram.com, which is LKHYYM_ juice, which is LKHYYM_ THEJUICE. That's Lakeim _ the juice. That's my Instagram. You can also see me or catch me on TikTok. My TikTok is at the same thing, LKHYYM_ the juice, which is my TikTok, and also at Michael the Juice Harris Condensed, which is on TikTok. You can put in the search engine at MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Excuse me. Put those on the search engine on TikTok, and you'll catch me on, those are just two of my platforms on TikTok. And you can also catch me on X Twitter. I call it X because it used to be Twitter, but it's X now, so I say X Twitter. On at Juice Pro 33. That's JUICE PRO 33 all together. Or you can and you can also catch my first excuse me. My first YouTube was Juice Pro 33 as well. That's X Twitter on Juice Pro 33, or my first you can like, subscribe, and share on there as well, which is my first YouTube as well, which is Juice Pro 33. Last but not least, my Facebook is Mikael the Juice, Mikael Harris, MICHAEL space HARRIS. That's MICHAEL space HARRIS. Excuse me, I'm getting tired, y'all, coming down on me. That is my my Facebook. Now for my full video, which is on YouTube under video. Now I do have a part 1 and part 2 on YouTube, also on Facebook, and also on Instagram. I have part 1 and part 2. But on YouTube, my live is part 1 and part 2. And my full video, which is from the Zoom, I put on there, which is my full video, is under video under YouTube. And you can also see my full video, which is from the Zoom, in patreon.com/LKHYYM and rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM and patreon.com/LKHYYM. Now, the nights that you'll find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on Zoom, the nights you'll find us here is on Sunday evening or Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Fight Fire with Truth, which is Open Conversation. The name of the program that night is Fight Fire with Truth, but that's an open conversation night where we can talk about anything across the board if you're on, and we can have a conversation about this, that, or what have you. And I put the tomorrow I'm supposed to share with our sister Julia about the fallen angels. So that's one point that I'm supposed to share with her. Now, some I might go in hypothetical on some things on what I come to know. Last week I shared something according to the book about when this is when men start to call on Yah, which angels we're fine. We'll go into that tomorrow night, plus more, whatever it comes up. But that's Fight Fire with Truth on Sundays, which is open conversation at 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on these platforms. As well as on Monday night, we have Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth is Mikael, which is myself, sharing information of things according to the world, knowledge of the scriptures, or prophecy that's happening in the world today. But this Monday, since last week we did the difference of a prophet, that's the name of it. This Monday we're gonna come up, who is the beast? Who is the beast? Everybody know about the beast in Revelation 13, which I am going to break down fully, but I'm also going to show you prophecy of where the beast was born, where it was raised, and the things that the beast has come to do and how the beast is in control today. I'm going to do this on this coming Monday on Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Who is the beast? And last but not least, we have Assembly of the Righteous, which is right here every Sabbath. Now, I'm saying I'm doing it, but we know it's of Yah because I'm giving it to Yah, Yah's word. But I'm a vessel of the Creator as well. So just wanted to shit out. Sure hope that I don't sound like Saul. Whew, boy. How you back there, baby? I sure hope I don't sound like Saul, but just sharing with you what the Father gives me through the Spirit to give to you. I'm a vessel. Thank you. Thank you. But the Father gives me through the Spirit to give to the world. You know, why? Because I am that Mikael. Thank you. That the Father spoke of in Daniel 12 and Revelations 12. But other than that, we're here on the Sabbath. All these are Eastern times, but Sunday and Monday is at 9 p.m. Eastern time. On the Sabbath, we're here at noon Eastern time, which is 12 o'clock noon Eastern time. And last but not least, coming into September, for all you who would like to know more information, you have to let me know ahead of time if you're not already a part of the introductory to solving class of knowledge, which we will be doing on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. And the reason why we're doing them at 6 p.m. is for our people that's out of the country, which is like my brother Cass in UK, or the people in different places around the world, Europe, UK, Austria. We're going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays, starting on the 2nd of April, the 2nd of September. We're going to start Introductory to Solving Class of Knowledge. Once you have stepped into and got into your private office, we're going to invite you to come to the Freedom Solving Class of Knowledge, which actually I call the Gates of Heaven. This is when you become free. And now you're in your freedom point. Now you can get them to the gates of heaven to do the other things according to the private. So that's going to be on Wednesdays. And I don't know if we have anybody that's ready for Wednesday yet that's in that position. We do have one or two that we may start with, but only those who are in the gates of heaven, who is in their private office, will be invited on that night, on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, for the peoples are whether in the United States or outside. And these are private. These are going to be private. So these will be Zoom only. These will be Zoom only on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, starting September. Other than that, which will be starting September 2nd and September 3rd. Other than that, I thank you for your time, your patience, the listening ear, your seeing eye. We love you, Cash. Love you too, G1. And all the other people that did come and participated and listened to Jonathan and Saul. That's what today's topic was about. Jonathan and Saul, which is actually the whole chapter. Part 1 and part 2 was about 1 Samuel chapter 14. Next week, I'm gonna tell you what it is now. Yah rejects Saul. Next week, Yah rejects Saul. I should say rejection of Saul, but Yah rejects Saul. That's gonna be in next week's. Next week, Assembly of the Righteous. Other than that, you want to say something there, Cass, before we go?
Tomorrow, you said something about the did you say the beast?
That's going to be Monday.
Oh,
Who
Monday.
is the beast? I'm going to be breaking down who is the beast Monday, but tomorrow is open conversation. I know Julia want to know more about the fallen angels. I'm gonna give. I can only say if it's not according to scripture, I'm gonna give you my point of view, and I'm gonna give you what I've come in order in the research that I have done or the research that anybody knows about. This is open conversation that we talk about. That's how we
What
learn more
time?
by helping and sharing information from each other.
Time
So,
tomorrow night.
huh?
Tomorrow night. What time tomorrow night?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Whoa.
I know that's 9 o'clock. That's 1 o'clock your time in the UK.
Hmm. I don't think I have an appointment for Monday, so I probably could do
If you
that
can
one.
make it, come on through. 'Cause
I would love to. That's an interesting particular topic, that is.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
open conversation tomorrow night. But Monday is going to be who is the beast, and that's
Hmm.
at both of those are now. I had to keep them stacked at the same time because that's what I've been doing the whole time. But since we're starting the introduction to sovereign class of knowledge, those definitely going to be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time, starting September 2nd and September 3rd.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All good, all good.
Uh-huh.
It's time for me now to get ready for my bed.
Okay. Hey, today is the day. Get some rest. You and Bev, y'all there. Get some rest. Don't forget, just to share with you, don't forget, Friday is supposed to be preparation day. That's the day you're supposed to get everything prepared for the day, to get everything out the way. So all you can do is rest today. That's what a lot of people don't know that. But the preparation day is to be prepared for today.
I've been prepared. They prepared me for that from I was like 6 years old. So
Yeah, you said
I'm
that, didn't
just
you? You
I'm just
said that.
coming,
Yep.
getting back there. I'm working at it. I'm working at it.
Just
Man,
gotta get back to it now. What did the
that was
book
rough
say?
stuff.
Huh?
That was rough times. Boy,
Hey,
boy, this little boy.
what did the book say, broadcast? The book says in Proverbs, it said, raise up a child in the way it should go, and when that child is old, it will not depart from him. That means
Book.
you got to get back to it because you was raised up in it, at least that time anyway.
Yeah, it was good, but now you have a better understanding as to what it's all about, what it actually means.
There you go.
Yeah, because back then they were following the or you so-called Jewish
Oh, okay, yeah.
setup. Yeah.
But the
'Cause-
concept was to not work. That's the key.
right.
That was the concept. So you was keeping it even though using the Jewish way, but you was
It was
keeping it.
fun. It was fun for a little boy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was good, man. Yeah,
Well, for
so
everybody else, we're gonna pause. Zoom, and that way we can start the recording. But for everybody else, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Love y'all. Ain't we 2.8, 2 hours and 8 minutes in already on this one. So other than that, we're going to pause Zoom, and we'll be right back.
okay. So